Some say it grew from our malice and indifference. Some say it was retribution from the heavens. All we know is the pandemic began somewhere. Somewhere cursed, dark, and filled with sorrow. Future generations will wonder how it all started. We will tell them the infection began with Podcast Zero.
Who's your daddy?
Hello.
Hello? What?
Who's your daddy? That's a good way to start off the show.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
We have wonderful timing.
Zero warning.
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
No. Hey, it's
I
Battle
like to do it
Royale.
like that. It's better to do that. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Podcast Zero and H1Z1 discussion, where we have the indomitable Mr. Jimmy Whisenhunt here.
Oh, yeah, indomitable. I don't even know what that means. I need a dictionary.
Yeah, I don't either. It's something to do with something.
Something good, probably.
So, then also we have Mr. Sergeant Stockus, Skylartron, Tangent, and Satellizer. So, hello, everybody.
Hello!
So, big, mega big, awesome, big hugs in your face, Jimmy, for coming on here when you only have 7 days, 16 hours, 14 minutes, and 35
Stop
seconds.
getting that specific. My head's gonna explode. Like I'm just gonna fall over. Like just have a stroke mid-podcast.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Totally wrong. 17 hours.
Oh my
7 days,
God!
15 hours. Yeah. So, thank you so much for coming, though. Really.
It's fun.
Everybody, he is currently in the middle of doing development because that's what they do. Tony. And he will be running in and out from time to time, possibly. The heads is, oh, look at that. You know? Like
I like it.
in the background, we got the video going. And Skyla left.
She's gone.
She had an
Yep.
emergency.
She couldn't handle it anymore.
Yeah, after that whole bladder surgery, I didn't think she could.
Mm-mm.
So what's going on, Jimmy?
Well, we had a couple big company-wide playtests like yesterday and today, which is cool. We found things pretty quickly that we needed to address. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's just around here making sure everything's stable, making sure everything's working, making sure everything's named right, and testing the queuing systems, making sure the servers are going to stay up. And the biggest thing, like today, we found there's a little bug in the queuing system. We want to make sure that people know they're in a queue, not they're just sitting there. The UI wasn't showing right, so we're making sure all those type of things are working. Just because the last thing we want to do, we want at least there to be feedback if you can't get into the game. You know what I mean?
So you did a company-wide, meaning that you went all the way across, like you had somebody in New York who works for Sony log in and try out
Yeah, just
cross-country.
everybody. Yeah.
All right, let me see if I can. I guess my mic's cutting out. So, first off, everybody, if you have any questions, please put them in brackets, and Skyla, our chat monkey, will gather them up, and we'll ask them a little bit later. Just put the word question in brackets so that we can see them, and then we'll highlight them for us, and we'll bring them in.
Otherwise, I will not put it in. I will not.
Ever. She just say, big F you.
Yeah, basically.
All right, so can you give us any kind of update on what's going on with the whiteboard?
Well, the whiteboard stuff's like done for the most part. I mean, that's been for a little while now. It's just like post whiteboard is us just once again testing the things that were there, and we test all the way through development. But anytime you're in this quick of an iteration, or like you iterate this quickly, is one thing's bound to break another. And now that those are all there in this big soup, we got to make sure that it all works together, and all the finite details that could mean pretty catastrophic things for a player. And We're testing all those now, playing them beginning to end, exactly how you guys are going to day one. Just jumping in, trying to survive, meeting up with other people. What's fun about the company-wide playtest that we did yesterday and today is we might as well have never played the game before. I mean, a lot of these people haven't, and they might or might not have a microphone. They could be an absolute psycho. We don't know. Like today, I ran into a guy who just wanted to hunt down a deer, and he just went flying by with a helmet and an axe, and he was just chasing a deer through town. I'm like, Dad, let me shoot him. Like, stop running. If you keep running, he's gonna keep scaring the deer. And he's like, what? I was like, just crouch and like wait there, wait for him to calm down, or to kill him, and killed him. And he thought it was cool. I already know who he was, but yeah, that kind of stuff's been fun.
You didn't just want to stick an axe in his head while he was?
No, not really.
No.
I mean, like, that happens. That actually, the same guy, he didn't have a microphone. That same guy ran back to, he had put a campfire down, like, around the outskirts of one of the towns, and he was trying to light it, and he kept, like, putting flares near it, but he wasn't quite putting a flare in it, and when he put a flare in it, or I put a flare in it, it lit, and he's like, what do we do now? I was like, well, we hunt a deer, and that's when he went bolting off into the distance with an axe to find a deer. But as we were talking, just having a pretty basic conversation, someone ran up behind him and tried to murder him with an axe, and we managed to kill him, and I imagine that was pretty rewarding for him. I'm just used to that right now because we just play with each other in the team all the time, and we're just used to trying to kill each other because, hey, that's Clegg. F that guy.
When release comes, or early access starts, are you guys going to play with us but have like secret names?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll have different names. Like on PlanetSide 2 on launch, it was a really, thankfully, stable and awesome launch. So I was able to just go on and just play and like not have to worry about jumping in and instantly fix a million bugs. Sure, there were bugs, but nothing we had to fix right away. So I jumped on other names and stuff and ran around, and I think Clegg and Lenny and a lot of the guys who are on the team with me now did the same thing. So we'll be around, yeah.
Absolutely. Can I, before we get started with everyone else wanting to jump in here, I have a question, and I don't know if it's too controversial, and I don't know how I feel about this. I'm not gonna drop a big bomb on you, Jimmy, but there was a video that came out from CES that was a let's play, and I saw it this morning on IGN, and I went and watched it. I was like, I didn't look at any of the comments below the video. I was just looking at the video, and I'm like, this looks like shit. And it wasn't that it looked like shit, the game looked like shit. It was that they recorded it with like a camera with this really bad glare, so all the colors were really washed out, and it looked like the colors were sort of like kind of, I don't know, whatever. And so after I watched the video, I was like, it didn't look very good. It didn't highlight H1Z1 very well. And then I looked at the comments below, and everyone was just tearing it apart.
Sure.
And then apparently that made it over to Reddit, but I didn't read any of the Reddit stuff. But
well, a lot of what it actually ended up being was, so when we go to events, we have multiple builds, like because you never know what may fail at an event. I mean, we're taking our environment outside of our development environment. Like you don't know what things might not work when you take it out to CES or E3 or whatever. So we have backup builds that we know worked at the last event. The build we ended up having to revert to at CES because we're not live yet was super old. So there were like some zombie warping around and everyone was trash talking that. And then beyond that, there was the glare, and I actually didn't know they recorded with the camera. I was like, did they add a lens flare to our game? Like, what is that? I can't tell. But no, I mean, it's fine. It's whatever. Clegg put up a post and just said, that's old. That's old stuff. Thankfully, at the same time, this Friday, we've got Co and JP. They're coming by with PC Gamer and a bunch of other people who are going to be able to sit down with the game like all day and just mess with it. So instead of it just being a video, it'll be like a hands-on with devs, questions, other players, and get a chance to really get the real side of the game. So I don't think it's a big deal.
Okay. You guys can hop in. I just wanted to ask him that one thing because it looked to me like it was just some extra people jumping on the bandwagon to bash. In my opinion, and I've talked about this before, that I think some of the people that are sort of blinded that they say, oh, DayZ is going to be on top forever, and they just want to like stick their fingers in your ears and go, no, it's not. It's always going to be the best game out there, and there's never going to be anything to challenge it. They look at something like that and they go, oh. Perfect. See, this example of how bad H1Z1 really is.
It's whatever. I mean, at the same time, like I still put hours and hours and hours into DayZ every once in a while, Russ, to see what they're up to, and I mean, I enjoy them all for different reasons. So yeah.
As long as you can walk down a flight of steps and not break your legs in H1Z1, you've already won the game.
Oh man, we were close to not having that at all. We've been messing with fall damage a lot recently, and it was actually kind of a once again, anytime that you use like our engine we have to modify heavily from the data side and like with the physics and players and everything to make sure that it's going to work in a more realistic setting as opposed to on another planet and planets that do with jetpacks and stuff. And we've been working back and forth with fall damage. And for a while, you would either die instantly if you fell off a parking curb, or you could drop from, I think my max I tested is 1,597 meters and not take any damage. So it worked today. Today's play test, everything's good. So that was good news. That's good news.
Exciting stuff.
Good. Yes. Because that infuriated me. I played DayZ. I thought, you know what? H1Z1, ramp up. Well, why not? We'll get into a DayZ. We'll play it. I ran around for 35 minutes finding some stuff. Decided to go into, I decked myself out with a hot dress. Had the pink number on with no pants, of course. A nice little boonie hat. I was ready to hit the town, so I went looking for some hot firemen. I went up to the fire station. No worries. Got down to the bottom step. Broken leg. Crawled around for another half an hour finding someone to kill me.
Right, yeah, because you can't find a zombie to kill you, so you try to pray mercifully that somebody will kill you.
So here I was in my pink dress crawling around on the ground in the filth. It's not like a lady should be.
There it is right there. Dave 1Z1. Dave Avram was actually working with me on the fall damage.
Oh, okay.
That was the guy who at first it was killing us too fast, and then it was off an order of magnitude. We didn't take any, and he fixed it. All praise Dave 1Z1, the voodoo wizard of code.
Okay, Dave is so humble too, because he comes here all the time, and I'm like, hey, when we have a dev in the audience, Dave 1Z1. He's like, I'm not really a dev. I'm like, well, what do you do? I work on the code and stuff. I'm like, well, that's a dev.
That's the definition of development, and making it work.
He's a humble guy.
That's right. He is.
Oh, by the way, everybody, before we get going, another thing, I am giving away H1Z1 tonight, so stick around at the end. It's not a sub-only raffle. It's for everyone who's here, who's watching at the point when we get to there. All you got to do to enter, I'll give you a keyword, and you can enter, and then it'll be sort of like an IOU, because I can't actually send it yet. But soon, very soon, DM. It didn't turn into a talk shit about DayZ podcast, but you have to talk about other competition out there. I mean, that's kind of what it is all about. And I like to think of this game as sort of a merging between H1Z or DayZ and Rust. With the building that Rust has. It's kind of like what you're going for, right, Jimmy? I mean, yeah. I mean, really, it's just our own game. Yeah, it is, yeah. But if you make an MMO, everyone's going to compare it to WoW. This is such a WoW killer.
And honestly, that's a huge compliment to DayZ.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So H1Z1 is a WoW clone, then, yes?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Confirm.
And I mean,
Confirm.
seriously, the first FPS ever made, Counter-Strike, it really, set the stage. No one laughed. No one got that joke. Never mind.
It's
Sorry.
okay. Jimmy, and many of you guys may know this or may not know this. Jimmy is a professional CS:GO player.
I am not a professional by any standard.
What are you
Like-
kidding me?
Never
Pro
won the world.
esports
You are
league,
a complete
CS:GO.
MLG pro.
YOLO. Yeah.
Isn't that what happened to your wrist?
Actually, yes. I'm playing way too much. Like, it's funny because growing up, by the way, kids, young guns, take care of your damn backs and take care of your
Yeah.
wrists and everything
Holy
else.
shit, yeah.
Like, growing up, playing and landing, I put like 15,000 hours into playing just Counter-Strike 1.6 and on, and then like Quake and all these other games, and like never paying attention to how I sat and everything, and now it's kind of catching up to me. But yeah, so take care of it. It's not a big deal as long as you don't just let it go. But please, for the love of God, just type the word ergonomics desk into Google and read for like 5 minutes. It'll change your life later on.
Yeah, it's a public service announcement from.
Yes, it's PSA.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you think is going to happen on day of launch as far as
Oh, that's what I want to know.
servers go? I mean, it's hard to know, right? But
Yeah.
do you have like a pretty good contingency plan sort of built in there? So when, because other games, Final Fantasy 14, it took like days to get into it because they refused to add more servers. Because if you add more servers and then later on the
gauge.
servers fall or the population falls, then you have those extra servers laying around. I can sort of see that, but are you guys anticipating a big surge?
I hope so. I mean, that's the best problem you can ask for, right? I mean, anytime you're screaming, God, all the servers, that's a good thing to have. But I mean, we don't know. I mean, we're gonna put a bunch of them up and see how it goes. There will probably be some like gateway login issues here and there as we kind of stabilize that and figure out how much we can handle at a time. But once again, that's it's what early access is all is for. It's all for is making sure all that works. We've tried to be incredibly transparent, and Smed said the same thing in a couple interviews. Is like things are going to break, like the server may go down, and so on. But just know that we're on top of it and we're quick. So
He crushed me. He said, "Do not play our game." The day
On day one, yeah.
I'm like,
Just
come
worry
on.
about that.
I've been waiting for
Well,
this
I
since
think-
April.
I think there was context to it. I think it's like if you're expecting a polished game,
Yeah.
don't play a game on day one.
It's still kind of
Yeah.
pretty good.
So how bad is ping gonna play a part in the game? Will people like myself and a big part of the world that want to play this game? I know Planetside 2, I can play with about 200 odd ping, and it's really not an issue. You gonna get the same sort of thing with H1Z1?
I mean, I would hope so. Until we start getting those higher latency players in, we won't know for sure. But knowing that the backbone and everything, hold on. I hope our technical director's watching because he hates when I use this term,
Okay.
the net code. He hates when I do that.
Though?
He hates it. No, it's actually not, and that's why he hates it.
always
But
call
that's
it
what I call it. It's what everyone else calls it in the gaming community.
Yeah.
And yeah, but anyway, it's we interpolate well, and it plays pretty well at high pings just because of Forge Light in our server tech. So I expect that it'll be better than most games.
That is one major bonus that you guys have right off the bat, is that you're starting off with a really great base of having Planetside set up, and you're just expanding on it, but you're changing it you're almost like reskinning Planetside in a way.
Yeah.
And you have
Yeah, it's kind of how that's what we thought at first. Like, yeah, we're just getting it, and be like, wait, there's a lot. Wait, no, we need to change. Let's change that too. Okay, hold on.
Sweet.
Nothing from you guys.
Bod just said if the netcode for H1Z1 is half as good as the BF4, he'll be happy.
Hey,
I've had
BF4 's
any
gotten
issues
better.
with BF4 netcode at all.
It's gotten
That's been
better.
the only one.
I did in the
Yeah.
beginning, but I can actually play it and enjoy it now.
mean,
I got a question
I love
regarding
it.
launch.
Yeah, go for
So
it, man.
a question that I got is, so there's a lot of stigma about what existing survival horror games have out there that they are lacking. You can point probably at any of the big 5 or whatever 5 top sandbox survival zombie games are, and point out the glaring stuff that they're missing. What are some things that H1Z1 has put into play that are going to set them apart? Like, what are some things that your competitors have as a weakness that you guys are doing as a strength?
Well, I mean, just our goal, like from day one, was to have a hardcore experience that's more accessible. I mean, I think a lot of people mistake, and not even just talking about competition or this genre in particular. It's just kind of games, because hardcore is coming back, which I love. I freaking love the fact that there's consequence of game and things are harder and you need to work to accomplish things. But we wanted to create a hardcore experience more accessible. Like, you still are going to die of hunger and thirst and zombies and wildlife and everything else, and there's several ways to solve each one of those problems, and they're pretty apparent. Like, they're put in front of you in a way that's easy to understand. And I know so many people who wanted to get in the survival genre who had trouble fully understanding a lot of the games that are out there now. And that was our goal for day one early access, is to have a game that is relatively accessible with a real baseline gameplay that people will expect, and then we're expounding upon our longer term plans. So accessibility, it's huge.
Jimmy, did you play this War of Mine?
No, I didn't play this War of Mine. I did
you
not.
see any play of it or anything about it?
No, I think I did. It didn't stick with me. Obviously, I watch a lot of things. Yeah.
Okay. Well, basically, it was this survival game, and it was just the rawest kind of survival game I think I played in quite a while, where it made you really have to anticipate, think. Yeah, you really had to think, and it was every day of survival was so precious. You were like, holy crap, I made it another day. Is that kind of what the goal is you're going for here, or are you kind of trying to make it a little bit more action oriented? Is it going to be like more? Is it going to be like a heavy action game, like more of a first person kind of shooter game, or is it going to be more toward leaning towards the hardcore survival?
It's both, if that makes any sense. I mean, just saying first-person shooter is hard because you have games like Insurgency out there that are, I would say, more hardcore than DayZ when it comes to aiming. It is a dedicated first-person shooter. It's just incredibly hard to actually hit targets. You really have to think and be strategic. And as an example, our combat in our game is fairly fast-paced. You do die quickly, but and it is hard to hit targets, but it's based on recoil. It's something that's manageable, and you really just need to think about when you're shooting, how you're shooting. Should I reposition before I shoot again because I'm lacking on ammo? We want to bring the hardcore survival until you have your engagements, and then your engagements are going to be pretty fast-paced, and that's where you're going to win or lose for the next day, right?
Mhm.
So it's kind of a mix of everything. We want to bring some fast-paced action because at the end of the day, we all want some action. We want to be able to interact with the player and go jump in, whether it's a fight with a bear or it's just NPCs or have those squad fights against other people. It's just tactical throughout a field. That's what really stands out to us as a development team, what we want to see, and it's what we want to push in our game.
Okay. I got a question. Do you know yet if there's going to be a separation for NA and EU players, or can EU play with NA on the same server?
I mean, for now, the plan is to allow. I mean, like you can just play where you want to play. Like familiar on PlanetSide 2. That's same idea there. Smed said multiple times we're going to have servers all over the place. It's not just going to be in the U.S. So if they want to play over here, that's more than fine. I have plenty of European friends I play WoW Arena with, and I sometimes try to play CS with, but that usually doesn't work out very well. But we don't want to try to like gate people.
Can I ask a little bit about what your plans are for maybe end game or sort of longevity? Like, what do we want to do after we've survived? And in DayZ, this is kind of what happened. You built up you got the best weapons. You got the sniper rifle. You've got all the food you could possibly carry on your backpack. You've done everything you can, and now you just kind of wander around wanting to kill people. What is sort of the end result for H1Z1 that's going to make you want to keep coming back and playing the game?
Well, we talked about it a little bit before with the growing world we've got. We're starting much smaller than where we'll be, and as the world grows, that brings new things. I mean, whether that's new fruits, crafting materials, areas to take over, new places to explore, you're going to continue on with the same kind of action. And if the action that we've given you from the beginning, as far as the gunplay and tactical squad combat, that sort of thing, isn't fulfilling you, we've done something wrong in that area, and that should carry you on to your adventures into new areas of the map. I mean, over time, throughout early access, we're adding a ton of feature sets. This is nowhere near where we want to be. So especially throughout early access, you're going to end up with, later on aircraft and larger maps and different vehicles and new weapons, and all these things should keep people interested coming back. And once that's all in the game, we're still not done. I mean, we're an MMO, so there's some content pumping in constantly.
Yeah. Oh, so you have the possibility. I want to say this that it's going to be this big, but you have the possibility of a 16,000 square kilometer map.
Something crazy like that. Yeah, I don't even remember the math. It's more than we would ever want to do. I mean, I don't even see like the actual benefit of having something that large.
It is really big.
Yeah.
But I think there is something to be said about if there was a map that large, and say you had a gaming community that wanted to take over a certain town. There's a possibility to do that, because if the map is that big, you could probably out in the middle of nowhere set up some sort of like Woodbury and take it over, and that's it.
That's right.
What you set up.
Yep. And I mean that is the beauty. And in the beginning, it will be hard to see how that's going to work out for the players, because it's going to be smaller. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be pretty fast paced in the beginning, so it's not going to be the like someone go take over a whole area. I mean, you're going to go out, you're going to build with your friends, you're going to build a base, but you're going to be in a fight with someone who built a base like on the other side. Hopefully.
Okay.
I mean, you're going to get a lot more combat out of it early on, and we get the data from that. And as we grow, that'll start separating more and more where you can build.
I just don't want it to get to the point where I have to end up walking 5 hours to be able to run into another person.
Sure. Yeah. No. We definitely aren't erring on that side. As a matter of fact, we're going to err on higher numbers and go downward.
Right.
And we've had talks of having one with just a ton of players, like twice, 3 times the amount we would on a normal server, and just getting rid of zombies and letting people run wild and have fun. So people will have a lot of different varying play styles on there.
Yes, please.
Real quick. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to say something, Slack?
I was just going to see like older people, just no guns, nothing but axes.
Well,
Axing each other.
The majority of people do want to kill on sight. There is always this thing out there where people are like, well, we got to stop the kill on sight. I agree for the people who aren't into that, and I'm like, me personally, I don't always just run around and kill people. I want to try to have an interaction, role play, whatever. But if I want to get that fixed, I'm going to go into a server where I can just run at someone screaming a battle cry, just punching them in the face, and hope that I get something from them and move on and try to survive as long as I can.
A Fight Club server. No
Yes.
weapons.
God, yes.
Just
Yes.
fisticuffs.
You're not supposed to talk about that one.
That's rule like number
Or
1 or
rule.
2. I don't.
Real quick, Co-Carnage is here in the
Oh.
audience. Jimmy, do you want to explain what's going to be happening soon as sort of like an event that's coming up?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to explain, but
Okay.
we've got Co, and I know like PC Gamer, and JP's coming, and there's a huge list. Next Gen Tactic, zombie guy who's actually really funny. I wasn't too familiar with him. I found his YouTube channel the other day, and he's actually really, really funny, and he's only does zombie stuff, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
On YouTube, so only zombie games. So had a chance to check that out, and he's going to be by, and it's going to be a day of everyone getting to stream on their own, and then we've also got the studio on our main channel where people can come by, give their opinion, and ask us questions, and
That's
it's going to be
Friday.
fun. That's on Friday, yeah.
So we can all look forward to seeing some stuff of that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep, from Co's channel, JP's channel, and from the H1Z1 channel and all that, yeah.
Awesome. Can't wait. And we want to see some more gameplay.
For sure.
For sure. Everybody remember, if you have any questions, please put them in brackets. We have a couple devs in the audience, and we also have Jimmy here, who is the master dev.
The master dev, I don't know about that.
I'm just giving you titles, you know.
I like, if you keep
Roll
throwing
it.
them out there, we'll find one that sticks with
Yeah,
Smed.
exactly. So just stick them in chat, and then Skylar will grab them up. And then remember, later on, we're going to do a giveaway for H1Z1, so stick around for that as well. All right, do we want to get started with some of these questions? I couldn't hear you. Oh, she muted herself because
Because of my typing.
keyboard. Her
Because of my
keyboard.
furious typing.
she's
Yes.
got some cherry blacks over there and
Yeah. well.
clickety clickety.
Okay, we will start. Yes. All right, for Jimmy, obviously. What is happening on the streamer whitelisting servers?
Oh, yeah, so the whitelisting service one we talked about a while back, and actually talked to Co about it a little bit, and a lot of those guys, that they hit me up on it. And, yeah, I mean, we want to do it, and we don't know exactly how we're going to work out people outside of the whitelisted players. I mean, obviously, there needs to be other people in there for fodder, run around, play, and that, just aren't general D-bags, run around KOS and troll streamers. But no, I mean, that is something that we're going to do, absolutely. We're actually going to try to reserve one on launch day for that sort of thing.
Wow. How realistic is the sound?
Well, it's realistic. I mean, like, it's positional, and it sounds good. I mean, I don't know. Realistic's a hard term to, nail down. If you're inside of a building, it is more muffled. If you hear something on the outside and the rain falls on the roof and you're outside, you can hear it hitting the ground. And we're actually... I think most everyone knows who watched some of the streams is we switched over to a different sound system. We've been integrating all that stuff. It's actually a big challenge to get all that done. And it's working out a lot better. And every week, it's getting better and better as we tune it. Greg Spence has been working a lot on that, who's also one of the combat guys. And Gary Miranda is the sound guy working with us right now for all the gun stuff. And yeah, it's getting better and better.
What's up?
1 second.
Oh.
Is that better? Was my mic sounding weird for you guys?
It was
It did
just,
Sound like a
little weird.
robot.
it was just your Skype. I don't think
You're a
it was-
robot, I knew it.
Am I better now?
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's fine.
Kind of.
I am a robot. Didn't you get that from
Slightly
my
less
name?
robot-y.
Okay. All right. Well, fine. Will there be controller support at early access launch?
That I would have to defer to Tom or somebody. I mean, on PlanetSide 2, we support a controller, and we'll continue to, obviously, because it's going to PS4, but I don't know how good it'll be. I don't know about dead zone tuning and everything. That does take a lot of time. Contrary to popular belief, it's not as easy as just throwing in a pre-made controller set. So I would have to defer to our tech director, someone on that one.
Okie dokie. Is there any feature, new or old, in the game that devs haven't really talked about that the community might be surprised about?
I don't know, because if they'd be surprised, we probably would have told them. Probably. I don't actually know off the top of my head. I mean, it's just, we've got a lot of things. I mean, there's feature sets within the first 20 minutes of playing, you're touching 20 different feature sets and things. And, even if you watch all the streams and listen to all the podcasts and read Twitter, you're bound to miss some of them. So I have a feeling each individual who jumps in and play the game day one is going to find something they weren't aware of, whether or not we talked about it. So that's kind of hard to nail down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where are we at? I know you guys were talking about fall damage just a little bit. This person wants to know how fall damage currently works, like how high can you jump without taking damage, etc.
I think the floor's pretty low. I mean, like, you die if you fall more than 15 meters. So, like, if you're jumping out of a third story, why? Well, stop it. Like, don't do that. Like, just don't. You take 0 damage. We had it scaling weird at first, but it's something like 2 meters and below you take 0 damage, and it starts scaling a little bit more higher and higher past that. But you start hitting, like, 8 meters. It hurts really bad. And you start hitting 10, so on. But there are no broken bones system in the game. It's not there. We're going to try without because I don't know if I'm going to like it. I don't know if you guys are going to like it. So, I mean, as a team, we just discussed and decided against it. It's always something we can do later, but I think we're pretty adamant about going without it.
No broken bones
So
at
it's
all?
just health.
Yeah, there's no broken bones. It's just straight health rate. It's
That's
health
great.
and bleeding. Yeah.
That's great because that was one of the biggest problems. Stockus was just talking about that you went to the fire station, you falls down.
Crawling around.
You're crawling around for an hour hoping that somebody will kill you so they can respawn.
Hey man, one of the funniest things that happened was one of our developers early on before we announced the game. We just got the game running, compiling in like 2-3 weeks, and Jason Polk, who he actually was one of the engineers, broke his legs in DayZ because we're playing DayZ mod at the time, and he's like, "What do I do?" I'm like, "Just go find a splint. It's not that hard, right?" And he just took it. I was joking, and I came back 3 hours later, and he was rolling around everywhere, and he was
Jeez.
chopping zombies in the legs, and he'd survived 3 hours, broken legs.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't want that in our game right now.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Thanks, Orbrek, but we have to blame Sony Shock. He invited him.
Oh God. Oh, never mind. I thought he was like,
No,
who's
so-
this guy? Get him out of here.
No, Sony's not here.
Oh.
Have you been watching him with his kid?
Oh yeah.
It's really great.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
It's
really cool.
hilarious. I love it.
Yeah.
It's like
he's
him and Mini Wheat,
natural-
dude.
Natural streamer. Little one. Mini Spark. Alright, what's next?
Okay, your favorite word is going to come up again. Will bullet damage be realistic? Like, can I take 3 bullets to the chest and continue to carry on?
Yes, you could technically take 3 bullets to chest, continue to carry on, but not for far. I mean, there's bleeding in the game. There is varying levels of bleeding in the game, so getting shot once, twice, 3 times increases the amount of your bleeding. So it's not as simple as let me bandage to stop the bleeding. It's like instead of like 2 gauze freaking wraps, you need like 7 or 8 to stop the bleeding, and then you're still low on HP. So, and it depends on the caliber of weapon too. I mean, different weapons do different damage.
At 308. What, is there a regen system? So, like, if you survive long enough, does your body kind of rejuvenate its blood, or do you have to eat or drink to fill it back up?
So your food, water, which I mean, you have energy, stamina, which is energy is like calories. It's your food. So just imagine that every tick of that's going down, it's not just arbitrarily going down until you starve. It's actually feeding into your overall health. So if you keep yourself well fed and you keep yourself hydrated, then you do gain health. It just takes a really long time. Bandages do have a very slight hot on them, so they see a little hill over time. Very slight.
Okay.
Gotten this one from multiple people. Will the game be CPU intensive?
Will the game be CPU intensive as compared to what? I mean, like,
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sort of a
I
vague
mean,
question.
as low as we can possibly make it. It's. I mean, really, we're shooting for a really solid min spec, and we've done some great stuff optimizing PlanetSide 2. So, I mean, just expect to be able to play it on the same machine, if about the same, if not better. So, yeah.
How about I ask, when can we expect to see a definite specification list so that people can stop asking that question?
Every week.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Tom Shank, where are you?
Shanker.
Well, he's not here.
But I mean,
Whoa.
Is he playing? He's playing, bro.
will we have like a dead set? Okay, this will run your game bare minimum, and then this is what we recommend. Will we
Oh,
see
yeah,
that
absolutely.
before EA, or will it come out around the
I
same
actually
time?
don't even know it. I imagine it's going to go up
That's
with the
cool.
EA page. I mean,
Fair enough.
that's something something I love, by the way, is Valve is taking EA early access a lot more seriously than they used to. So, I mean, just for the whole industry, that's awesome. And so, I
is.
mean, like, all the information's going out there just to make sure people absolutely know, like, this is the min spec, so I should expect to be able to play, and so on. So, yeah.
Cool.
I'm glad they're taking that stance because EA in
I
the
agree.
past has been such a problem. You buy a game thinking you were getting something and it was just crap.
All right, I'm combining some questions.
Nice.
Asking about the realism of realism. That's all the questions
Ooh.
are. Gun recoil and bullet drop.
Yes. So the bullet drop exists. It is substantial based on the caliber. I mean, little 45 from a like 1911 isn't going to go near as far as a 308 would based on velocity and mass. The recoil is. So I think I saw that question come up in chat. They asked something about Counter-Strike, be more like CS or like gaming or arcade.
Yeah.
In like as an example, in CS:GO, you can almost 100% replicate a really good circle at about 10 meters. You get in there and you can just manage your recoil. It's going to be relatively the same every time. In our game, it's going to behave in relatively the same way, so it's always going to pull to the left or the right to certain degrees and up a certain amount. So you can bank on it being within a certain base accuracy. So you're just going to get used to the guns and you can get good with them. It's not realistic in the way that some people call it, where it's just this cone of fire and it just goes in different directions. You never really know. Your gun's actually going to pull you in different directions. You're going to be able to hopefully compensate.
It's not like Call of Duty where you can do backflips and over the shoulder 360.
No, I put a big, I do combat specifically, and I put a huge rubber veto stamp on the YOLO swag 420 no scope.
Yeah.
Pretty early on.
360 scope montages.
And then thankfully the team agreed, so yeah.
Oh, you're messing with my jive, man.
You can't make any more montages? What is
Yeah,
this?
with the montages with the sparkly guns and stuff, and
Come on, man.
flicking a knife 6 miles away and hitting somebody between the eyes.
Hey man, tomahawks are awesome. I love those montages.
Yo, yeah. I hit him.
Yep.
As long as you don't have axes swinging and making gun noises, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Was that Forrest? No, what was that?
No,
that was
Oh,
AZ
AZ,
still.
that's right, at the beginning, yeah.
And I loved it. I loved
You
it
had
so
to reload
much.
your axe? Remember you had to reload?
It scared the crap out of me because you'd have someone swinging their axe behind you. You're like, oh my god, shots fired, where are they?
I was talking to Brian Hicks about that the other day on Twitter. Something happened where I was long range accidentally meleeing with a spear on a vine that I tweeted out, and Brian Hicks is like, you should just put a gun sound on there, and it'll be just taking me back to the old DC mod days.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yep, pretty much what it's like right now.
Yep. All right, go ahead, Sky.
Okie dokie. Wow. Can you give more details on weapon degradation after someone is killed and their stuff is looted?
Oh, you mean like when someone dies and if their stuff gets damaged?
Yeah.
It's all. I can say it's being tuned. I mean, it's all there. It's way too fast right now. It's so freaking hard to find ammo right now. Like I think in this last playtest I played for an hour, and we had continuing characters from multiple playtests before. So some people had guns, and I managed to find people who had guns and they didn't have ammo, and I never found ammo. And by the time I find ammo, I'd shoot like 3 shots, and they had already used them to shoot through. So like they just broke. I'm like, okay, we need to make these things a little more durable than they are right now. But yeah, I mean, gear will get damaged through that.
I mean,
All right.
Can I get a question?
Yeah, ask away.
Okay. All right. Jimmy, do you what in terms of clothing is there planned or in there? Because all I always see in the playtests are t-shirts and long pants. Is there like sweatshirts, shorts, anything like that in there yet or planned later?
No, yeah, I mean, a lot of those models are actually made, but they're not going to go in game right away. It's actually a little more complicated than you imagine, because we have right now the ability to do the texture swaps with different shirts, long sleeve or not. And when you start doing full mesh swaps, we want to make sure that, like, we get like a puffy jacket or something on a guy, that it's not going to completely screw over performance for one reason or another. We want to make sure the wearable system goes in right and then it works and fully tested, because we don't want to go into early access with a bunch of people not being able to play with like a high-end PC because of jackets. But yeah, they're all there. They look really cool. We've actually got some like the polo flip-up collar stuff,
Nice.
like plaid shirts. Like we've got all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Now, I ask this every week. Every week,
God, here it comes.
and maybe you heard it by now.
Yeah.
I'm a big advocate for this. That's great. Shorts, flannels, helmets of all sorts of different kinds is great. Are you guys going to do character development? Are you guys going to do character customization? Or are we going to be like every single zombie survival horror, white guy, brown guy, black guy, wearing the exact same clothes, shooting at the exact same people everywhere?
Exact same clothes. You mean when you spawn?
I'm just saying in general. Like you've seen Daisy, you've seen Rust.
Yeah, you mean like
you've seen-
changing your face and everything?
Rust, you don't start
like
with
everything, like something. Is there anything robust in the character development category in the works, or are we going to see for the first year white guy, brown guy, black guy?
No, there's nothing in the works right there right now. We're just going to go out with your set.
Thank you,
know,
thank
your
you for
female-
saying that.
Yeah, no, I mean
you
it's
for
just
saying that.
You've got to consider that I mean, yes, like character development's cool, but in our game, there's so many wearables you're changing all the time, and you're like, oh, this shirt's ripped. I need this guy's shirt. I mean, like that's really your character at that point, and like who you choose to be, and the way you dress, and your role play or whatever. And later on, we might see it, but we've got so many unique objects in our game, we need to like not throw on top of it. But no, I
appreciate that because I've been asking that week after week, and getting a solid no.
Can you give me a list of people who said that?
We can't because then they'll never want to come back on the show again.
I'm going to line them up, and I'm just going to run by all of them like this.
Slap them in the face.
My metal wrist brace.
No, it's just like I understand you guys can't answer everything and so on and so forth, but I just was trying to get definitive answers. Like, is this even in the works? And
right now, no.
Thank you for at least answering that.
It's very important for immersion as well because
growing beards.
Well, yeah, well, that's the beard part. But if you're running up on somebody and you don't have nameplates above their head. You have to be able to know that, okay, last time I saw Bob, he was in a green shirt, and I just saw him 10 minutes ago, so probably he's that guy over there with the green shirt on. And so Tangy doesn't want it all to look cookie cutter because in DayZ, you don't know, is that my buddy? Because you can't tell everybody had the same.
That's why when I ask questions that get skirted around quite a bit, and basically my questions are like, what's going to be different versus everything that we've got? And so getting a solid answer like that it's like what I need to feel like the questions are.
No, you need some closure, man. You need some closure there. I hear you.
I need some closure because
Yeah, I mean, and just a little bit more to that. We've already what is in the works as far as character stuff. There is another character model, and then of course the female character model. We're still tweaking the guy we've got now because he looks a little weird in the shoulders, some other things, and the female character and the other races. So like all that stuff comes out, and you'll be able to select that stuff. It's not going to randomly be thrown at you. So at least you know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like orcs and elves and stuff.
Races. I'm like, yeah, orcs and dragons.
Yes, and Taurens and
perfect.
Night elves, blood elves.
Confirmed,
they're gonna build towns across from each other, and they're gonna no.
But one of the reasons why I've been so adamant about asking that question in particular is twofold. The first one is that in terms of wanting to kind of quell, even by a small percentage, the number of kill on sight people, having people with different faces does improve the likelihood of someone not just killing you because you're worth a point.
Isn't there psychology when you ever get kidnapped to just keep saying your name? Isn't that a movie one time they made a joke about that? It's like maybe you associate uniqueness to not wanting to kill them because they spent time on their character. Like, I don't know.
Well, it's more that like when you see everybody like the white guy, brown guy, black guy, it's basically you're lining up like this is the NPC that's worth points if I kill them. Mm-hmm. So the other thing though about it is like you guys have been talking about how awesome it's going to be to see like eventually your zombie walking around.
Yeah.
How are we going to know it's us if we can't distinguish what we look like?
Well, I know it's
that sentimental bridge.
I choose the most ridiculous combination of clothing ever. Like I've got like short. Once we get the short shorts and stuff, I have like short shorts, cowboy boots, and a plaid shirt. And with
yes.
And I'm going to know that that's me, right? Like I'm going to know. It's basically it would be your combination of things that it's wearing with the backpack, same backpacking gear and stuff. And that's something that's later on down the line. But we've got all their loadout stuff worked out. We just need to make it work. That's how you know. You just see them with gear.
Are the tactical vests in the game yet?
No, they are not.
Okay.
No, anything that's going to be a full mesh swap right now is going to be in there right away, but that's definitely something that's on our priority list because that makes the game so much cooler. And then those things actually stop bullets.
Right. Yeah, which is nice. That's just a benefit, though. The coolness is really what matters.
That's true.
Oh, right. Is there a story? That's the question. Is there a story?
Well, once there was a man named Geek Domo, and he started a podcast.
No,
I don't know. I mean, like...
I thought you were
going to talk about my my thing I'm doing. I'm role-playing that I'm spreading H1Z1 through Europe while I'm being a truck driver. And
wow.
It's true. I had sex with a lot lizard, and somehow in my belly formed H1Z1. And now I'm spreading it through Europe. And then when American Truck Sim comes out, because I'm playing Euro Truck Sim, American Truck Sim comes out, I'm going to drive in America and spread it there. And
wow.
I've already got the whole thing worked out. That's the story.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Fair. But no, I mean, there's outside of the game. In game, no, we don't have anything, notes or things like that going to pop up.
Okay.
You can see what happened within the areas. Like we are conscious, or like the environment team that, like Clegg and the guys who work on the world. When you go through, you see wrecked cars, and it makes sense as of what happened within that town or that area or that camp, and the graffiti that will come later and that sort of thing. But as far as like a directive story that you get to uncover from beginning to end, there is not.
Since you mentioned it, the graffiti thing, there was a question about if that is in EA or what is the status of that?
The customization?
Tagging and stuff? Spray painting? And
Oh, yes, that will be in shortly after. Not right there at day one, but that will be there. I mean, that's just one of the cooler things.
Now, to build off onto that, will it just stay text to plastered on there, or will you be able to freeform with your mouse or something?
It would be text to start with. I mean, once again, it's all about performance. There's a term we use in the industry called the TTP, and it's time to penis. And like it would be like 3 minutes if we just gave people a spray can. But it's that, and also we need to make sure that whatever system we're using where the system we're using for the spray paint and stuff doesn't kill performance. We just let people draw lines everywhere. So I imagine it's going to be text.
There's a couple of really good typefaces out there, or fonts, rather, that are already graffiti, like, because I saw the ones you were using on that one live stream, and it was just like Comic Sans. I was like, oh, no.
Right. Well, that was us testing. I mean, like, that's just making sure it works.
That's the best thing ever. I just hope it stays as Comic Sans and that's all you can use.
Yeah, it's like, fuck off with the Comic Sans.
Actually, that's something I want to ask.
What?
How are you guys going to filter that sort of thing? If anyone can just type in whatever they want, how are you?
Yeah.
Are you going to filter it? And if you are, how are you going to?
To filter what?
If I just wanted,
Appropriate
I
stuff.
fucked your mum last night.
Oh, I have
get one
no
up
idea.
here.
That's not my job. I don't know.
Yeah. just wondering if you knew, if you were going to filter it, and if you did know how it was going to be done. But
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. I know that there are inexplicably names that I can't make in some SOE games, like as far as the filter goes, so I don't know.
I mean, we had a discussion about it where we thought it would be really great where if you had a filter for, you had a list of swear words, and that any swear word that went in would just automatically autocorrect.
Turn to Clegg.
Oh, yes, I saw this.
So instead of get fucked, it's get clegged.
That is
Or I clegged mother last night.
That is incredible.
It has to
Yes,
happen.
there we go.
It's
Dave says we have our ways.
cool.
Wahahaha.
I guess my mic wasn't loud. Is it better now, guys? I just had everyone's complaining
It
like
sounds
they
fine.
couldn't hear me. No, they couldn't hear me apparently.
Oh.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
That's cool.
Am I back in questions? All right. Will we be able to shoot out of cars?
In the truck, yes, and currently with the other vehicles where you're inside, like from the back of the truck, you can. If you're inside a vehicle currently, no. The vehicles are all very simple right now as far as, like their dynamics, the way they drive, complicated, very cool, like they feel very, very good. But as far as like breaking out windows and doing all that stuff, that is not there right now. That is something we absolutely want to do, but it will take us time to make sure, once again, all that works, and it's not going to explode the server and your performance. So yeah.
So eventually we'll have the ability to roll down windows and drive by and all that
I don't know
kind of
about the
stuff.
roll down windows and everything, but at least have the ability to sneak up, like
Shoot
crouch
out.
up behind your car, stylizer, and smash out the window, hit you in the head with a bat, and
Oh.
pull you. I'm just kidding.
Perfect. Pull me out too. That would be amazing.
Yeah, who knows where we'll go with it? But we just need to get the baseline of like having people shoot out of cars, and that could be a while
Okay.
before we do something like that.
All right.
Since we're on the subject of cars, will there be first person in vehicle?
Where's
That is
the
something
camera?
that comes up all the time, and I don't have the answer for that. And it's not even like we can't even talk about it. It's just for speed reasons and for performance reasons, and just trying to get the game to you guys. We're third person right now, and we'll see how it plays out. First person, hopefully, eventually. I know like Clegg and I both kind of pushed for it, but at the end of the day, we are a massive game, and we need to make sure that we don't kill performance.
Yep.
So yeah.
I'm just going to skip to this one because I can. Can you tell us what the differences are in the price points for early access?
I actually don't do that either.
Well, I know you don't do it. But it's in there, and people keep asking me, so I figured I'd
I hear you. I hear you.
I just do the job, man.
I understand. I'm not getting after you. I know.
Everyone really likes the Clegger idea.
They
Stalkers.
really do.
Because they're
Yeah,
like,
man.
Clegg it up.
I clegged your mom and you mother Clegger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know it's a
gonna
thing.
happen.
it is totally. It's a meme on its own right.
Gotta happen. Mhm.
It's gonna
I wonder how many mother Cleggers are going to be named when EA launches, you can see mother cliggers running around.
Right.
Just start using it, and it'll become a thing.
I actually kind of like the idea that maybe, I mean, not that we would do this, but I would love to see someone do this. Maybe Smed, if you're watching, help. That we just let people get the name, right? To them, they don't know that we've changed it, and they just think they have their name this whole time. That would be great.
Oh.
What do you? I'm lost. Hold on.
So and their name is Mother Effer, and it turns into Mother Clegger, and they just think that they have that
They
name.
see it as that, yeah.
They think it says that that's their name, but it's been.
Somebody will
changed
tell him
in-game.
eventually. Be like, why are you called Mother Clegger? He's like, nah, motherfucker.
Man, get it right, bro. Get your read.
To read, man. Dev 88. 7 days, 15 hours, 2 minutes, and 47 seconds.
You're gonna give this poor guy a heart
He's
attack.
out. You made him.
He's out.
He's like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Done with you people. So anyway,
I'm just kidding.
And that's what happened with Jimmy.
And that's how we pissed off SOE, and that's how we made an enemy out of Jimmy.
I did not get invited to this whole thing that happened with Ko, and this is why.
Oh God,
Neither did I.
the revenge.
Revenge, John. They hate us, man.
They do.
We ask the hard questions like, oh.
That's right.
Come on, we do this every week for you guys. Where's our invite? Come
I
on.
know.
Jimmy's not the guy, so don't beat up Jimmy.
Hey,
Jimmy
man.
doesn't do this.
Jimmy's like, I don't do invites.
Don't do
I
this.
wasn't gonna say it, but Domo brought it up.
No, I was just joking. About the... anyway, so we go on Sky. Sorry. Let's get off that subject because.
No, it's fine. I'm just gonna keep asking questions. To
Yes,
Jimmy
please
about
do. There's like
that he
1,000. They
things he
keep coming.
doesn't do.
A lot of good
Like,
questions.
how many times do you guys have to take out the garbage in the office per day?
Oh yeah, how many times?
That's
Yeah.
a really good question. Is that an actual question?
No, it's not.
Oh wow, that was a curious.
Oh, that was
I mean,
even cool.
talking-
There are
That's
people
so
that
true.
come by and they take trash out. Like I don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm
That's
just
not
gonna
his
keep
job.
asking you questions about not your job. That's
I
what I'm
like
gonna
it.
do
I
the
like
rest
it.
of
It's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, quick,
will there?
Sky, I want to ask a question. Somebody just asked a question about a horse. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, taming animals. Yeah.
Taming animal. Now, my stance on this, and I guess I just don't get it. Maybe people don't really are into the zombie genre that much, but I don't want a dog in a zombie game.
I do.
Well, it's not like he's going to be... I mean, if you could somehow stop the dog from barking by cutting out its vocal cords, then yes, I think a dog would be fine.
I think you could train it to not.
No, it's
act
not
like
a
that.
dingo,
I'm
okay?
keeping
So
it-
Hey,
Train dingoes.
it might
I'm
bark.
gonna have a fucking dingo.
Okay, so dog's
I can
natural
have a
reaction...
dingo, I
Listen,
take one.
dog's natural reaction is that it's going to, when it's scared, bark. Okay? And then what does that do for zombies? That's like, hey, lunch.
My dog doesn't get scared.
And so
My
all these
friends
people are like,
never
I
get
want to have Rex running around with me, or old Yeller. You know, I want to have these dogs run around with me and be my pals. You know, and I don't know. It just to me it doesn't seem very realistic for a zombie game.
I mean,
Pet rhino.
Yeah, that'd
I
be
think
good.
from like the day we announced this game, people were asking like, "Can I have a horse? Can I tame a horse? Can we get a wolf? Can we get a deer? Like, can I keep that thing at home? Whatever." You know what I mean?
And do Pokemon battles with it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's whatever. People want to do that, cool. But it's not quite top priority list there.
Yeah.
No, yeah, who knows what happens? But yeah, we need to get the rest of the game worked out first.
Right. Riz says it's a good risk. I guess it could be. I mean, if you're stupid enough to have a dog in the game as a pet, and it starts barking and you get eaten, then you probably won't have a dog the next time.
And I would just be so sad, man. I don't know if you guys seen I Am Legend, but God,
Oh
that
god,
scene.
don't remind me. I can't.
Spoilers.
Spoilers!
Hey, if you haven't seen I Am Legend in 6
Oh,
years now,
jeez.
okay, come on.
Did you guys actually do that at the office? Like sit around and just watch zombie films?
We have, yeah. I mean, we sat around and watched movies. Broom and some of the other guys actually have them on loop in the background.
Yeah,
of TV
I
in
saw
the
that on that
house.
12-hour live stream. You went to his office
Yeah.
and he showed that.
Oh, question. What are the status on bicycles? I know they're coming, but are they...
I don't have a status on it. It's
Every
like
freaking week with every
I-
dev we
well,
get,
I
you're
love
like the bicycle man, Mike the bicycle man.
I want to go around with the
I
bicycle
mean, no,
gang.
I agree with
What's
you,
so
and I
good
think
about
on
that?
multiple live streams that Smed was there, and like Chris and other people who were involved with like the bicycle situation. I specifically said I want a bicycle now, and I keep getting told not right now. So like it'll be coming up. We want to do something like that later. I don't know.
Block 6 Time has the best. You know, we talked about this when we first started doing these podcasts, Jimmy, and I think you came on here with Clegman, and we said we
Yeah.
wanted to come up with, and I think Ko was here and Elohim was here. We said we wanted to make a a stick with a rabbit head on the end, and H1Z1 Jane drew it up and stuff, and it was going to be a bioweapon. So it had H1Z1 on the rabbit, and you could shove it at people and infect them.
Oh,
right?
right. I think I remember this now. Yeah.
But it's been topped now because Lock 6 Time just said basically get a hedgehog and in an emergency tape it to a grenade, and then all of a sudden you have...
This is where like if I'm ever bored, and like about 2 months ago, I can get on Reddit, and I'm on Reddit all the time, and I read through most of everything. And sometimes I wish I didn't because people are mean. But no, I'll get on there, and some of the craziest ideas I just absolutely think would be incredible, but we would never be able to do are on there. Right. And like, I want a houseboat that.
Wait, there's no houseboats?
I want to go into the ocean. No, the houseboat's not the problem. They want to build a helipad on that houseboat and have drones, and eventually they want to bring scientists together to build a rocket ship so they can fly off of Earth, and that's how they beat H1Z1 is they repopulate another planet. And
okay,
like, that's awesome. No, I love that. You just started the lore from PlanetSide 2. Like, that is incredible.
Right. That's a neat idea. Ooh, that is cool.
Tie-in. Yeah.
Really good tie-in.
It's coming eventually.
Quick, yes or no question here. Will there be friends list, party/party list, guild/platoon list available?
Yep, groupings. Yep.
No, not right at the beginning. So we actually made a deliberate decision for it. Not like a, hey, we didn't get this done. It's more of a, we want to see what happens if we don't and see what needs to be added. And because we don't want to just throw platoon and squad and guild and everything in there. So we're going to piecemeal it, see what happens. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Grim just said Co Carnage now wants to kill his subs. That's what I've been doing on Rust. And I like to eat all of the people that are subscribed to me.
I was watching Code get murked by one of his subs the other day. Like the guy built a base outside of his front door,
right?
And then he
he
killed him 3 different times. And Ko is just so calm. I don't know how. I would have been screaming, and he just said, "I'm impressed with you." I'm like, how do you not get so mad?
Dude, I loved it. I love it. People were killing me too because I'm like, it doesn't bother me. I was like, yeah, cool. He shot me, and I died in the heat. So, but when do we get cannibalism? Because I think it's an integral part of a zombie survival story, being able to eat other people. When can I eat my other viewers?
Sometime soon. We got to get there eventually, right? No, I don't know. It's actually been an ongoing discussion. That actually might be the easiest fix ever. If we're like, hey, this is fun with this many people, but there's no more deer. Like, all right, well, let's just let people eat each other. I don't know.
Yeah.
Once again, it's got to have a pretty tangible gameplay impact at this point. Everything we're going to be putting into the game has to drastically affect gameplay in one way or another.
Okay.
In a big way.
So you eat somebody, and your chance for H1Z1 goes up significantly every time. Every time you eat somebody, because they might have a slight tiny bit of the virus, and you eat them, and now you've got it doubled
it's like
in your
Book of
body.
Eli, man. Your hands start shaking.
Yeah.
And then they just know. People know. They see those hands. They're like, "Whoa, dude!"
What's wrong? Well, you might have the necklace of ears around you too.
Oh yeah, that could be a pretty big tell that maybe you should run for your freaking life.
All right, go ahead, Sky.
Oh, you people. I don't even know okay, so another thing is asking about spawning. People want to know how easy it will be to find your friends and or how the spawning system is going to work at EA.
You guys are going to have a great time because you're going to log in and you're going to run around and you're going to find a town, just any point of reference, because once again, we don't have a coast or anything, okay? I don't know why I'm waving this thing around like I would be threatening to put someone's eye out if they're in here. That's a stylus. Anyway, so when you spawn in the world, you find towns, you follow power lines, get on roads, find some point of reference, and if the truck stops, things like that, you'll find maps that are in the world. Maps in the world say you are here, and they're only segments of the map, and it's going to be a little bit of a puzzle game to learn where you are and your friend is. And I actually like that a lot instead of getting a full map.
Yeah.
Because then you're kind of forced, when you figure out the reference points, it automatically in your head kind of connects that, oh, this leads to here, okay, that's fine, and then you just meet up with your friends. And half the journey is finding your friends, because, I mean, by the time he gets to me, he's going to tell me a crazy story about how he had to kill 4 different people that were screaming they're going to rip his legs off, and that's awesome.
I love your mentality about that, because that's one of the best parts of DayZ. You first get in there, you don't have a map, and you're running around, and then you finally start making the connection that you go from Charon Ruse to, so you go to Electro to to the next town, and you just kind of in your head you start building that, and then that's your character's leveling because you're not actually.
I
leveling
still don't know my way around.
You
Like,
don't?
I don't know how many hours I put into DayZ, and I just still start screaming, I'm in the town! They're like, which one? Like, the one by the coast? Like, which one? Charteris! What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd rather just run aimlessly and have fun.
No, but I love that. I love your mentality about that. I think that's a fantastic outlook to do because we don't need the hand holding, and I think it helps to build your character's character.
Yep. I mean, you should feel accomplished what you do in a game. You shouldn't need a number telling you how good you're doing. I mean, you learning a game, getting better at it, and learning new things is the biggest form of satisfaction in a game, and we want to be able to bring that to you. So,
Speaking of no numbers, obviously when you're attacking somebody, you don't see any kind of like numbers floating above their heads. But are you going to have some sort of like metrics to judge how well you're doing?
not
Just how you
really.
survive.
I mean, eventually we're going to do a player site and stuff. It's not going to include. We're going to try to stay away from KD and all that. We're going to figure out what metrics. I even thought it'd be kind of cool to do like a survivor index that we just do behind the scenes. We base it off things that we don't tell you guys because otherwise you just be able to focus on that. But
Running in circles for an hour, that gives you.
Yeah.
How long you stayed alive. might be
right,
good.
things like that. We can do things like that, but that'll mostly be out of game, and we may integrate those sort of stats later. But that would be cool, especially when you die. I want to feel horrible when I die. You're like, here lies Jimmy Whisenhunt. He survived for 73 hours and 27 minutes and killed 43 million zombies, and be like, no, it's all gone.
It'd be cool if there's like a little tombstone too.
Yeah, I was gonna say little two
Yeah.
pops down.
That'd be cool. Once again, that's the dream stuff that we'll be getting to
Right.
later on.
Somewhere in the future.
Yeah.
Cool. Are there random events on the servers?
Yes, and they're called people. No. We right now there is not, but we want to be able to do the crash site type stuff. We're not going to call it crash site. It's not going to be a crash site, but that is on our radar to have dynamic things. Now, we got to keep in mind the airdrops are in the game, both free,
That's-
and people be able to trigger those things, and that will create events. And trust me when I say, with a game that can hold as many concurrent players in a server as what we're making, there will be events whether or not we do them. I mean, you're going to run across someone trying to kidnap everyone on your side of the map. And
Right.
you will have to talk to people, and hopefully that'll be dynamic enough while we get our event stuff in.
So
Yeah,
airdrops are in EA.
Yes.
Okay.
What
Anything like
Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
you want to go tangent? Okay. Anything like Easter eggs, like one zombie out of all of them that starts dancing like Michael Jackson, or one bear that starts twerking out of nowhere. You're like, yes, I found it, the one.
Twerking
Yes!
bear.
No, not right now. There are Easter eggs, but yeah.
Okay. All right.
The comment that I was going to have is EverQuest was my first near and dear multiplayer experience, and the Sony staff really made that game immersive for me in my childhood because they did so many of those GM events, like spawning some named dragon in the Lake of Ill-Omen or something like that, and it was a call to arms, and everyone on the server rushed to try and help, and there was all these role-play events and stuff like that.
Yep.
So this just comes to mind with the person asking the question about the will there be like events. I mean, I think that you have a really unique opportunity to set H1Z1 apart from other survival MMOs in many ways. If you guys would just do some things like, I know you guys are talking about having radio systems in there at some point. I mean, even something like a crackle comes over the radio and you hear something about like a herd or a horde that's moving somewhere south of the map, and to use caution and just have something living and breathing and interactable that's not just coming from the players might give a bit of structured support that the players will really feel like they get their hooks in. So I don't know. I really hope that you guys will consider doing stuff like that, because it doesn't need to be anything huge and fantastic. It's just could be like little tiny things. Like the game masters of EverQuest would sneak around and do little things. Like
Trust me, I know.
newbie zones. Like a rock talked to me one time, and I wasn't sure if I was crazy, so I picked up the rock in my inventory for a while, and just had that going on. Suddenly we had a cult worshiping this rock on the Zegany server, and it was one of the most wildest things ever. And it's just the little bits of unique attention that the devs will be capable of doing, and I know that Sony's got that spirit for it, I think would really provide a memorable experience that will make people think twice about turning away from the kill on site death magic.
I agree 100%, and I've experienced over the years, I mean, starting in like 99 on forward through some of the great MMOs where it was a lot of interaction that created the events, and we want to continue that trend. It's just those sort of things are things we want to do. We want to be able to drive people to do things together with us, and or not. Sometimes these things may be automated. It's just epic cool stuff we've set up beforehand. We can actually do out of game. But those are definitely things like later on. We want to make sure they've got the first base game. But yeah, no, I hear you wholeheartedly, man. I've had GM scare the crap out of me in multiple games for multiple reasons, and it was always great. I had one kill me in Anarchy Online. I don't know if any of you guys ever played it, but do you remember the Reets, the little Reets, the little squirrels? I had I don't remember what level it was, level 220 or something. Reet in the starting zone, and I got killed, and I got an LOL, and a GM had just leveled it. Just to be funny, that's the kind of stuff. But I mean, he apologized and gave me
your stuff. But tangent. The thing is it's funny enough that you keep saying that when in my childhood, because you're making me feel really old. I used to be a GM on a Rosimar or Sony back in the day.
GM or guide?
Well, I was a guide, but I did a lot of those events because they pulled the guides in. And I was going to say is Sony isn't allowed to do that anymore, at least as far as I know. Because it was sort of like free labor, and they had to cancel the guide program because we were all working for the subscription every month, basically, and it was under. So I don't know if it was to be able to pull it off again like they could back in those days, because they had a workforce of like 50 people that were like, yeah, let's do this, and we all sat down and came up with ideas for what we were going to do.
Yeah, I mean, even it's just like little stuff. Like, for example, you think of I don't know why I keep having this idea in my head for something that could be done in H1Z1. And I don't know how feasible this would be, but I think about in like vanilla World of Warcraft. I think this was vanilla. The Encourage opening event.
Yeah, we had to get the cloth and everything and collect it.
Right, so it's like everybody on the server is coming together for this common cause, and like something I'm thinking about H1Z1 is like, and I brought this up a few times. So something like there's a rusty water dam. And it takes tons of resources to get it up and running, but if it does, X quadrant of the map suddenly has some benefit, like maybe there's electricity, the street lights turn on, so it's a little bit safer at night in this area or something, or more dangerous, depending on so on and so forth. Things to give people a reason to work together when there's almost none outside of their niche, their cliques.
Well, and I just a fair warning, guys. I'm gonna have to head out pretty soon for the rest of the podcast. Okay. And if we want to answer a few more questions, I'll try to.
Look for a couple of really good ones, Sky, because a lot of people are in the audience like, how come we can't hear this?
There's so many questions.
Look for a couple of good ones real quick, and we'll actually while Sky's looking for that real quick, I'm gonna start up. I'm giving away a copy of H1Z1. It's kind of an IOU because the game's not out yet. It comes out in 7 days. I can't cover that. I'm not going to say that because Jimmy's going to leave anyway. But it's coming out soon, TM. And it's not available for me to send to you right away, but what we'll do at the end is I get your email address, and I'll send it to you on Steam once the game goes live. So hang on there. We're going to start up the raffle. You got any good ones yet, Sky?
One I actually haven't seen before. Maybe you guys have seen it, but I haven't. Are there any plans for siege weapons and artillery?
Wow, I like that question a lot.
Yeah, me too. I've never seen this question before.
It's not in the plans, no. But if we get there, we get there. I mean, we have the capability to do it. A lot of it's going to depend on the community because this is a huge, fun experiment from the development side, and I think with players too, is we get to just see what happens with the base building and as we grow the world and what's needed. And hell yeah, like if you guys end up needing a trebuchet, let's do it. Like I want to see someone build a trebuchet, and like Satellites are over here streaming, and he looks outside, he's like, are they building a tower? And he comes back like an hour later, and they're pulling this thing back and launches a rock at him. Like that would be awesome, but we'll see. I don't know.
Launch zombies.
Like partially repaired car that just has a ram on the front of it.
Zombies and
zombies in there. Yeah, it's like a biological weapon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome.
That's funny. Wait, is the keyword Jimmy? Are you?
Yeah.
We I looked over like, Jimmy. What do they do? Everyone's yelling Jimmy, and I'm like,
we
oh, never mind.
You, Jimmy.
Right.
Yes, Jimmy.
Get to be our keyword.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Is there any sort of camouflage system, I guess like Walking Dead, where you smear zombie guts on yourself and blah, blah, blah?
No, not right now. We tried it and it didn't work too well. But
you
can.
did try it.
Wasn't
Yeah,
it the
you
deer
can
urine?
put deer urine on yourself and
Yeah.
sneak up on deer. Yeah.
Almost the same thing.
Yeah, it's close.
It's the foundation for something larger.
Zombie
Yeah.
urine next.
It'll work. It can
Everything.
work.
It's a start.
BL Toaster's got a good question I'd like to know about. Is there a borderless windowed mode? Because this is
borderless.
important for streamers.
Yeah.
Windows. I'd have to remember. I have to go look and see. I don't know why you guys complain. I streamed full time 2 years. No window borderless. Never did it. Don't like it.
Just play Windows. I don't
I just
do
play windowed or full screen.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, because windowed sometimes has a border around it, so then you got to trim it in OBS, and it's a pain in the ass.
Well, yeah, but don't you just use game capture?
No,
Oh, you use 2 PC.
games-
I use 2 PCs. Yes.
Yeah, I hear ya.
So.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's something we could do. We'll have to ask Tom. I don't know.
Okay.
But right now, it's full screen. And our game alt tabs incredibly well, though.
Okay,
Like,
well, that's
really
the
well.
problem, because sometimes you alt tab and it takes like 30 seconds to
Freezes.
get back
No,
to the
it-
game.
No, it is really, really nice. Like,
Okay.
that is one of my requirements when I play games now. So must be able to alt tab and come back in quickly and not lose 30 frames in the process.
Okay, then that's okay then. All right. I'll make this the last one.
Make this the last one. What? That's a
Good.
lot of pressure,
You have to go,
Tony.
Jimmy?
Whoa!
That's a lot of
yeah, I've
pressure.
gotta
you
head
go.
out.
You go. Then we don't have a last one. Yes.
No. Ask a good one, Skylar. Make it the best question you've ever asked, ever.
Oh, I really thought the siege weapon was the
Have you
best one
ever considered to even try and maybe do more like?
Yes.
Oh, well, okay, there it is.
By the way, that big wall of text that just came up is those people are not following the channel. Sorry.
That is a lot orange.
That was a lot of orange. You have to follow.
Yeah.
That's a prerequisite of the bot. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, bot.
A good number of questions about base building. So, can pre-existing buildings be used as bases? Can you build a base without the your foundational thing that we've seen?
No, that's your first bit. Is you need to put down the foundation and build from that. Freeform building becomes a major problem on multiple levels, like design and engineering side. But you can also take buildings that exist in the world and kind of like was shown. You can board up the windows and everything, and you'd be able to lock doors. Not day one EA, but very soon. Very soon after, you're gonna be able to do that sort of thing, manipulate doors.
Will we eventually be able to put our base on an already existing structure? Like, I want to build a super tall building on my already built skyscraper or something like that.
What do you mean? Like you mean like take a
Like-
house and build on top of it?
Yeah, something like that.
Like, can
I
you
don't
put the
know.
platform
Like-
up there?
Yeah.
On top of
No.
an apartment building or something.
You can't
Mhm.
right now. I don't think it requires a certain amount of. It requires a certain slope, and it also requires a certain amount of free room before it can be like in the system for it to snap and like actually be able to land there.
Yep.
Okay.
That's actually, it's funny. I've never thought of that. Watching someone atop an apartment building, it's just some
Yeah.
jerk that blocked off the the door and just sits up there sniping in the middle of town.
Yeah.
All right, that's exactly what I'm doing right when I get in
Yeah.
the game. I want to
Yeah.
see if that can
Uh-huh.
happen.
Really good try this.
I'm not going to tell you guys it works or not. No cheating. You guys just got to go try it. But
Yeah. Okay.
well, cool, guys. I got to head out, and I'm sorry about that. By the way, I really.
Thank you
wish
so
I
much.
could stick around.
Sorry,
That's all right.
don't apologize. You have only 7 days left before you got to get
Don't.
this game.
It's
I thought he was
7
gonna get
days.
cray.
It's okay. Don't give me the hour and the second.
No, I
the
won't. But
milliseconds,
you have to
microseconds,
bust
but-
your ass, and we want you to bust your ass. So I do appreciate you coming on. If you could do me one favor, though, I'll just blank out your screen. If you could just leave your the camera going, or just can you do that?
I can't.
No.
Sadly, this
All right.
machine
Just
has to
don't.
go down.
I'll just have to read. I'll have to redo the screen, but it's okay.
Sorry, man.
No, it's fine. I'll do it. I just want
Flagged it up.
you clicked it up.
God damn it!
Thank you so much, Jimmy. Thanks a lot for coming. Hopefully,
right.
we can
Thank
have
you,
you back
Jimmy.
after release.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Fun
you.
having you
guys.
here, bud.
Thank you so much. All right. I have to wait for all the windows to realign. So just go ahead and we'll go with the questions here for a little bit longer. Answer them the best as we can.
Just fun
We
to
also
well
do
said.
have a couple of devs in the audience, I believe. So
They're still
Dave's
there.
probably still there, yeah.
Color.
Dave.
Dave's there, and I thought I saw somebody else, but okay, there he's gone. Okay.
So, question to you guys: how many of you have played Miscreated?
Nope.
I did.
Nope.
How was it?
I thought it was pretty good, and I said, wow, this looks a lot like H1Z1, and then I found out that they actually labeled it, put H1Z1 tags in on Steam. So when you type in H1Z1 on
really?
Steam and you would see it, it looked like H1 because it's got kind of the same look.
Oh.
Yeah, and
That's
after I saw that,
not
I was like, okay, F you guys. So yeah, I didn't like that at all.
Okay, good question
I
from
go
Locke.
over here and here.
What does
I'm
what does
fixing it.
Stockus smell like?
Ah.
He's an enigma. He smells like whatever you're thinking about.
Dingoes.
I feel like
Smells like
whiskey and
dingoes.
sand.
Sex and sweat.
Well, the
What's
hard
the
questions
same?
kind of
These
tapered
are
off
good
as soon as Jenny left.
Yeah, Jimmy's
There-
gone.
there are
We can go
questions
back to
You
the,
can tell the dev's gone.
Yeah.
right. Dev's gone. We can go to our real questions now, guys. Jesus Christ, how does Stockus sweat smell? Ah,
Can we talk about cannibalism some more?
yeah, let's eat.
Look at
How
that.
many
Yeah.
somebody so
What
bad?
about
Yeah,
babies?
well,
Can we talk about
actually-
reproduction?
Very poignant that you
Population.
say, let's talk about eating people. Apparently, I've been told, now I don't get it, but my partner has told me that there are moments where I smell like meat pies.
Ooh, meat pies.
Legit
There's
meat
nothing,
pies.
there's nothing wrong with that,
No,
though.
that's good.
No, I know, that's
healthy.
what, but I mean, the fact that I smell eerily like a, something,
You are what you
food
eat.
stuff.
When are you
It's-
coming
it's-
to the States, Stockus?
That's exactly right. It's like,
Yeah, see,
she's like, you smell like pies. I'm like, but I've not been eating them. She's like, you just smell like pies. I'm like, oh, I'm delicious. It's a
Cologne
bit
companies need to get on that. You need to smell like American barbecue. Or
Oh
like,
yeah.
That's
Mm.
meat
Like-
pie
Oh,
cologne,
yeah.
something like that.
like meat
Bacon.
pie spice, things like
Pie
the bacon,
spice.
bacon weave,
mm,
things like
Yeah.
that.
I know some people that would legit go crazy over cologne or something that smells like a certain type of alcohol. Like we've got a rum over here that's made with sugarcane, and it's got a very distinct smell. Like one time I tried it, I actually got some and I dabbed it on me instead of cologne, and people are like, "Oh, you smell so good! You smell like rum." I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh
wow.
my!
back to the
Okay.
real questions, I guess.
I don't even
Oh
know.
my.
Are there even real questions? Well, crate drops around the map. If you're talking about airdrops, then yes, they will be spread out over the map. And if you order one, people will be able to go after it.
Yeah, did we ever get a yes that's actually happening on
There
the
are
whole
going to be
ordering?
drops, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Not
I mean,
ordering them, though, I don't know.
ordering them
Yeah,
in
like-
the Cash App or something like that. Like, I know there was up in the air. If
Well, they're
you
going to have
could,
the servers
buy one
that
for
are
your streamer.
the Hunger Games
Doing
servers
that.
are coming.
Jimmy
Yeah.
did actually mention it. Jimmy did mention it while he was here. It was very, very quick, but he did mention you'll be able to buy the drop or they will happen randomly.
Yeah.
He just mentioned it really, really quickly,
Yep.
so it will happen.
It's not his
So-
job.
So
It's not my job.
It's not his job.
can I ask the audience a question?
Mhm.
I'd like
By
to
all
do that. Okay, so I mean, we're here. We do this every week, and we talk about like the dream. We talk about like what do we want to see, what are the must-haves, so on and so forth. What are you most looking forward to? But guys, you guys in the audience, what do you not want to see? You guys are the consumers. You guys are the ones that are watching because you want to be a more informed product consumer when it comes to the games that we're presenting and trying to show you guys. So what you guys have been, presumably you were into this genre. You guys have played DayZ, Rust, maybe Miscreated, maybe Nether, maybe The Forest, so on and so forth. What are things that you know is a trend in this sandbox genre that you do not want to see and you do not want to see repeated? What are these things? What are these things that you guys want?
Our fans does
That's
not
my
want to
question.
see a penis.
No penis? I'm okay with penis when it comes to my video
Yeah,
games.
Yeah,
I'm-
me too.
yeah,
that.
I really don't care. I would like
I don't
equal
care about that.
opportunity. If there's penis, I think
should
there
be
should also be
boobies.
boobs. Yeah, but
Well, okay. I'll only sell if there's also boobs. Otherwise, no penis.
I mean there should be both.
Gotta be both, or none at all. It's my
Yeah, I agree.
wanna see
Rust,
bald
I'm looking at
boobs.
you.
hackers. People
Those
want
aren't
a lot
bald
of hackers.
penises. They don't have any hair at all.
No, I want ball beards.
Oh, ball beards.
Ball beards?
I don't know what that is
Okay.
either. I'm thinking
Do I need to
like,
look this
Alright.
up? What
yeah,
are you
look it
saying?
up. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
All right, I'm googling
What
it.
is it?
Ball
I don't know.
beards.
We're looking at ball beards.
Ball beards.
Why did
I
I
think Stockus
Why did I
made this
Google
up.
this?
Are you talking
Oh no,
about
it's
the-
Urban Dictionary. Urban
The,
Dictionary.
the ornaments?
It looks like the
Oh, okay.
general consensus of who wants
Okay.
to see hackers.
That's what I figured. That's what I figured.
Scarlett's
I'm not looking
got
at
it.
pictures. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's what it means.
We have
I know what you're
completely
talking about.
derailed. Jimmy's gone. We go right back to our baser.
Okay, so a lot of people are
Pre-show
saying they
dog.
don't want. They say they don't want
Hackers.
KO. They don't want hackers. They don't want
Clipping
kill
them
on
through
sight.
walls.
A lot of
You're not-
hackers.
Okay, yeah,
Okay, so,
hackers,
I mean,
but it's
that
the
goes
same.
back-
Yeah,
There goes
it's the
that.
same
we
anti-cheat
nobody
system
wants
as in
hackers.
Play 2, so.
Okay, so we got the anti-cheat system. We got that. But like,
Yeah,
what
fine.
about like specific features that would make the gaming experience for the intended experience? Obviously, hackers are not the intended experience. That's coming off the grid with features that the developers have. The only control they have over is when they do their anti-cheat software, which we know they're going to be doing what they can.
Yeah, because it's planet-sided stuff. So
Right, but what I'm asking is like the actual features. Like for example, people want first-person mode when in the cars. Wanting to have the ability to knock down a base solo if you are persistent enough. Things like that. So you guys are giving us lots of really great examples. Obviously, the hacker thing is a big one that people are saying. Don't want bad melee combat. Yes, we want good melee combat.
Let's see. What is it? Oh, Locke said he could live without players that complain about KOS. Yeah, well.
It's getting kind of old. I mean, I understand why some people don't like KOS, the fact that they want to get rid of it is just silly. There's no way you're ever going to get... That's a person's mindset. You can't get rid of that. You can't punish a person for how he wants to play. Just like you want to play without KOS, some people want to play with it.
And that's why I think that the PvE server, or whatever, is perfectly
just stick to
fine.
PvE.
You just stay over there, and you'll play on the real server.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the men and manly KOS and all that stuff.
Manly women.
Okay, yeah, that too. Yeah. Alright. Yeah.
God.
I want to see a fully tested and robust game on release, but you're not going to see that in early access, and that's what
Yeah,
you have
that's
to
not
realize.
good.
Here's the question. I kept my mouth shut about this,
Okay.
and I have every week. But the question that I've always had in my mind, and it's like I understand early access is like the big thing right now, but why do they choose it?
I feel like they chose it
People wanted
because... I don't know if people wanted it, but to get more... This is a really community-oriented type of game, and I think that...
We have enough A, B, C, D, E, F types of games like this, though, that are in early access, that are floundering and dying or doing well and so on and so forth. And it's just, why the option? Because it's like, when it's not even just with this, but when I hear other developers say when they approach the deadline, well, it's going to be buggy, it's not going to be a polished game experience, and part of me just always has to ask, well, why are we here? Why are we doing this? Why can't we wait 6 months to deliver a clean, crisp, great product rather than
because I think it comes down to economics. We're paying them to play, and also we're being their beta testers.
I get that, but
remember when being a beta tester was like a big deal and you got like selected?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's a big deal to do that because it's just like right now, I just have this gut feeling that we're gonna see the same shit when
we're
it comes
getting
to
a
that.
vertical slice of gameplay, which is what they call it, a vertical slice of gameplay. I think that there will probably be some retention issues, like Landmark, because there aren't going to be enough features or whatever. I think it's going to be like that, yeah, for sure.
I hope not.
But I hope that they add content enough and big enough content that it compels people to keep playing. Because like Landmark would add like couches, and couches ain't gonna make me come back, yo.
I came back for the couches. I'm just saying.
Sky, there's a weird thing. Hold on, pause for a second. Sky, there's like some weird thing going on with your video is compressing ways down. It's like your.
I see that now.
Yeah, it's like your mouth you're not lining up with your words. It's really weird. Everyone else is okay. I thought maybe
I've taken up ventriloquism and I was practicing.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
To touch on what you said though, Tangent, I feel like the reason games are releasing in the early access with all the bugs and whatnot is because they spoke about, they created the hype like a year, 2 years ago, and then they don't want that hype to die, because with some games, if they wait too long, their hype's going to be completely gone. So I feel like they're rushing to, before the hype dies, get it out there with whatever they've got.
Like, but I understand that like that's the model nowadays. That it
shouldn't be, but that's what it is.
Nowadays, it's a way to earn like a nice lump of cash to get people to test your game and stuff like that. But it's like, what happens when the launch happens? There's no hype for it. Everyone, you get the stigma of like, what they're launching a game that's been out for 2 years.
Yeah.
So on and so forth.
Fireball.
And it's just like,
I do miss the hype of
Firefall's a
launch.
great
I
example.
really
It was in
do.
open beta for like 5 years, and then they
Yeah.
launched it. Wait, you mean it wasn't already launched? I thought it was launched
Yeah.
like
I was
2
like,
years
no,
ago.
this game was
What
out already.
happened?
Somebody already made a thing for me.
What?
It's just,
It says,
I just
guess
think
what? Sorry, tangent. I'm sorry.
fine. That wasn't you. that's me just like internalizing.
No. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you while I thought you were.
Let it
talking.
all out.
No, it's just like why is it now that just because some people have gotten away with it, do we live in a gaming
Accept it.
world?
Because we keep paying it into it, dude. If we all
Yeah.
stopped, then it would stop. But we don't. We go, man. I really got to play H1Z1. I'll pay $20.
I get that, but the problem is though is that the developers are banking on that we're going to do that, and rather than release a finished product that
But
we
we
can
do it anyways. If we
Wait.
just stopped, then they would stop. But because they know we're gonna do it, and we know we are gonna do it as well. I mean, as much as we say we're not gonna do it, I mean, people say I'm not. I don't want to do that. They're still gonna do it anyways.
I just think that since early access has come along, and granted, like maybe I'm just ignorant. I've been tested like a good number of games, but like that may have been in the past before the early access stuff happens. But it's just I feel like we're in an environment now where it's okay to not press a deadline. It's okay to not try hard. It's okay to wait for the people who are paying us to test our game to get the feedback. So it's just I don't know.
If this were to sit at Sony for another 6 months, do you think that it would get as good as it's going to be with? Now, see, we are running into a conundrum here because if it sits there and we wait for 6 more months and it comes out and it's good, we're all right. But if we play it early and we get tired of it, we leave because of like the landmark syndrome, right? So it's kind of like that fine line that we're kind of walking on here, and I don't know if there's any right answer for it because it might get better.
It's just one of those things where it's you can only back before the summer when we're talking about all this stuff where about how everything's going to be groundbreaking, blowing everything out of the water, everything's going to be great. This is the savior of the genre, and basically what it comes down to now is like we're looking to be on par with or slightly better than DayZ at launch. I mean, that's not the experience that I think we have been feeding into for the hype. And
I do wonder if Smed is setting the bar low like that,
Yeah.
saying that we shouldn't expect anything
It's gonna be
phenomenal,
crap.
and it's going to be like mind-blowingly amazing, and the hype will
maybe, but
it's Smed. Like, come on.
I don't know, particularly with a company like Sony and stuff like that. It's just like I just wonder. I question why, with the resources they have, why not wait until the game is done? Because I'm going to be the bad guy. I don't. I don't see
my
a whole lot
response
different
is bad.
than
My response
already
is bad.
there.
My response is that they want us to feel like they are more like an indie company. Does that make sense? They want us to feel like they're taking more feedback than, say, other big development companies for happy, feel-good community stuff. That's my response. It's a marketing.
Well, of course, it's a marketing thing, but it's just one of those things where it's like right now, like I am full. Like I know that I ask questions that probably aren't all that nice to developers sometimes.
Oh,
and whatnot, but
somebody
it's-
needs
such
to
a
ask
jerk.
them.
But it's like you know what? Fine. If it's gonna be, it's gonna be me. But it's right now, based on everything that I'm seeing a polished DayZ visually. That's all I'm seeing right now. And it's
Cashorn brings up something very good in the chat there, because he's saying that let me see if I can catch it. It just went by really fast. Shoot.
Landmark didn't have much at the start.
A response is DayZ is making money hand over fist and is completely broken. I'm just real quick going to open up the browser here on Twitch. Let's see where DayZ's falling here. Would you look at that? It's on the second row.
It's always either there.
It's always there. And
Hey, it's like a game that people want to watch, and I mean I know that doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about, but I think that's why it's so successful.
yeah, I think that if they come out with a game that right off the bat is on par but slightly better than DayZ, then it's already going to pull the DayZ players in. Then that gives them time to grow. What's up, Tangent? You okay?
There we are.
I'm
I
just
think
reading chat.
Oh, I thought you broke him.
No, what?
Nothing. Oh, I definitely think it's my internet, because you guys' mouths are not matching up with what's happening either, so I'm clearly having issues. Yeah, it's weird.
Hey, you want to come
We're
to bed?
watching you in the past, but you're looking like a like a fast talking chicken or something. Chicken.
Fast
Yeah.
talking chicken.
Chicken,
That's my next avatar. Okay.
All right, moving on. We got some more questions. We got a few thousand more to go.
Yeah, we only have 14 million questions.
We'll try to answer the best we can. Jimmy had to leave everybody. They only have 7 days, 14 hours, 23 minutes left to go. So.
Oh my god.
So I saw a few times about whether or not we'll be able to purchase it before the 15th, and what we were told is that no.
No. Big fat NO.
It will go able to purchase on the 15th. You will buy it and download it on the 15th. That is the answer.
I would like to. Some people were saying that, like, my stance on the early access thing is that people don't. People need to realize that these aren't finished games. I am aware of that, but the problem is that I think that there's been a lot of developers who have taken games and basically have them be like unofficially been launched. Like, let's not kid ourselves. There's a lot of games out there in early access that are basically done, and they're not going to ever actually make it to an official launch. They're basically just patching it as they go. The early access model that we have right now, yeah, there's people that are seeing these games that are not done, and they're being marketed as games that are going to be done in the future, but I don't really think that that's what the community is really getting out of it. I think that the developers are sitting on, for a lot of games, and I'm not saying Sony's doing this for any of their games. They've been doing a great job of PlanetSide, for example, but a lot of developers, once the game gets in early access, it's almost like the hands come off. And that's a really bad habit that we've been seeing nowadays in the early access. So I'm just hoping that the fact that it's in early access is not going to kill the ambition and devotion developers have been saying they're going to have since day one. That's all.
Okay. All right, let's move on to our another question here.
Oh, good job, me. I scrolled all the way to the bottom. Which are questions that we already asked Jimmy. I got out of order because I'm going to blame you guys, actually.
I'm totally with you, Tangent. I just I don't know what to say because it's kind of the state we're in.
Oh, I know.
Yo, Stomping Land. Oh fuck.
Beast
of Prey.
Zombieland was pretty good.
Oh,
It really had stuff going for it.
But they bailed.
I know. I'm just saying the game itself. Had been done, it would have
It
been
had
amazing.
some potential, and that's why we all bought into it because it was like, yeah, this game could work.
The problem is that early access is being used as a measuring stick for whether or not they're going to finish the game. We've seen games in the past where games have been canceled because they didn't sell enough early access testing things.
And where in the past they would have just made the game and hoped it all worked out.
Right. And so it's like, I don't think it's fair that developers who have all this power are the ones that are putting the games out, putting all this time into basically hyping up the early access, and then using that for the measuring stick for whether or not they're going to really care for the product.
But look at it from a developer aspect as well then, too, because if you've spent millions and millions going all the way to the end to make the game, and it is a piece of shit, then you're fucked because you're not going to get that money back ever. Whereas if you come out with early access, people are paying into it, they're thinking it has the potential of being amazing, and then it's like, this game's crap, we'll just leave it and call it a day. But they've already made some money back from the development stage, where the old way, you had to kind of go to the bank and take out a big loan and hopefully you got it paid off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't want to ever have the opinion that Sony are doing this purely for a financial reason, like they're just money grubbing. Oh, we were just going to try and, we're just going to try and sell as many EAs as we can and just rake in the dough, and then the game, well, fucking whatever. But we do also have to. Sony is a big company, and for such a very big company, the amount of devs they've got working on H1Z1 is actually really, really small.
Yeah.
It's like 30 at most. It's a tiny amount of devs for such a big company, for such a company that's brought out so many really big games, which have had very big developers. So it makes me wonder, have they maybe not just... Smed's kind of said, you know what, I want to develop this game, and Sony's gone, all right, but you can't have too much money. And that's been a big factor in them deciding to go EA, so they can kind of recover some of the costs to fund the development of the game, just because purely, you know, the massive bigwigs at Sony, that, you know, the stockholders, whatever you want to call them, the people that, you know, run the money, have said, we're not too sure about this, but, you know, look, and then Smed's gone, well, we could go EA, we could get a little bit of cash back, and if it works, then you with us, and they'll be like, well, okay, you do that and try it and
But
see how it
this
works.
is Sony. It's also not, you know, one of these other smaller developers too. You know, that's one of the other things. You get.
Exactly, though, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong here, because you guys have done a lot more research into like the actual notes. So if this is like, I remember when H1Z1 first was being really hyped, like back when there was the what was it, Game Informer flub? Were they the ones that tried to
July
post
1st.
early?
Yeah,
July 1st.
Yeah, July 1st. Okay, so previous to that, in interviews and on their site, I recall them saying, like, one of the things that sets us apart from the industry for this genre is that we have the AAA funding to finish and do this game the very best that we can.
Yeah,
And-
slapping
and
right
that-
at Bohemian Interactive.
Right, and that got us all, like, for me, that was like, yeah,
Yeah,
if there's
baby,
anybody
yeah.
that can if anybody can get it done, it's going to be that. It's going to be the almighty
We've
dollar.
been saying
that's
that
gonna get
since
done.
since we started covering this.
So
That's
now,
that catchphrase.
like a month or two before the early access, we get, you know, like, well, we've got such a small team. We've got the limitations. We've got all of this. And so it's just like, why did we spend so much time talking about how much man and financial firepower we've got to push this game out if now we're talking about having a few swapped faces being too much to be at launch? I mean, I'm so glad that Jimmy finally said, no, we're not doing this for any foreseeable amount of time. That's not on our plan. I just wanted that answer. But, like, why are we showboating the success of Sony and their financial power if only when it comes time to answering questions about it, they're saying, we don't actually have those resources. Why are they playing
maybe
that
it's the
card?
community that has been built up around these kind of games. I mean, it's pretty vitriolic out there, if you could use a
Yes,
word.
it is.
You know, and a lot of developers are just getting beat up hand over fist. I mean, just any of these type of life threat. The people they're having a life threatened. People are going to go kill their children. All these other kind of things because I changed the way a gun was being made. So maybe these developers are kind of getting a little bit gun shy, to coin a better word for a pun or whatever. That they don't want to promise too much and not have it come out because they don't want to get their plane diverted while they're flying in the air or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I agree. You make some pretty good points, Tangent. That when it started, we thought, oh, great, a fucking zombie survival game backed by such a big publisher / developer. Fantastic. This has got to be great. But I think what we didn't, and I'm just making a hunch here. I have no idea. I think this is personally John Smedley's baby. I think he's not.
He loves Daisy.
I think. You know, it may not necessarily be backed as we thought it might be by the entire power of the Sony conglomerate. I think this is just his little pet project that's just become so much bigger than he might have originally expected. I think this is just like you know, we see a lot of other games like, you know, Star Citizen with Chris Roberts. It's the game he wanted to make, irrespective of what people really fucking thought. You know, irrespective of what you think, I'm going to make it. But then when he said, hey guys, I'm making this, everyone's just like, fuck yeah, take my money. So, you know, I don't know. It's really an unanswerable question for us. I mean, only one person can truthfully answer that, and that would be John Smedley.
He doesn't know
exactly,
himself.
you know, well, I mean, only he could sit there and tell us, you know,
Right.
truthfully, you know, no, that I didn't have the funding from the entire Sony corporation for this game. I basically shifted some fucking dollars around and allocated, well, you know, you know, he's allocated, he's gone and done some shifty budgeting and found that he can allocate a very small amount of cash to this job to see what would happen. And it's just fucking spiraled out of control and become this big deal. But the reality of the thing is, to see it to a completion, he's had to go with EA. I mean, maybe. That's a hunch. That's, you know, I have no
Let me jump
idea.
in here real quick. Pause just for a second. Everybody, we're doing a giveaway for this game. We're going to end the show in about 10 minutes. So if you want to get in, type in !Jimmy. You just have to be following. That's the only prerequisite, and then watch for 5 minutes. But everyone should be watching by this time. So exclamation point Jimmy, get in on it. We're giving away H1Z1 early access that will come out in 7 days. So all right, continue on. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll just finish off by saying I do agree, Tangent, that it does feel a little bit like we've been, not purposefully, but it does feel like a slight misleading that, big name Sony, you see it on fucking big, huge buildings, you see it everywhere, and then all of a sudden they're expecting us to pay for this unfinished game, and it's a bit, it doesn't quite add up.
I think just for me, it's just one of those things where we not faulting them for it. It's just like when we see them putting the brakes on because of like the reality of the development world, why not adapt to that and like push it back, put more polish on it? That's all.
And once again, that's only a question that one person can really answer.
Well,
But
actually, we got
haven't
Steve
they-
here. Sony Shock is here now, so maybe he can answer.
Haven't
Maybe.
they realistically pushed it back anyway? Because
It was supposed to be
we were
May.
talking to them. Yep, we were talking to them in April, beginning of April, right, about it coming out in 4 to 6 weeks, and it's been 8 months. So technically, it's been pushed back for more polish.
I believe,
So-
yeah, absolutely, because we were. I met him at PAX in April. You were there, Skyla. We were at the Sony thing together.
Played it, yeah.
And you've already played the game, yeah. But then we talked with Tiana and all the people there, and we said, "Hey, we'd love to do a show on this, and when is it gonna be out?" And they're like, "Oh, a couple weeks." We're like, "Really?"
Yep.
So, everyone who's just getting here, yeah, you have to watch for 5 minutes. You still have time. I'm not doing the drawing for 10 more minutes, so go ahead and try to enter the drawing again. You have to watch for 5 minutes total. That's to keep it out.
Me, my technicalities, yeah. Sorry, Tren. Technically.
Technicalities. Sony Shock, what do you want to ask him? You guys had a question, and he maybe can answer.
Why EA?
Why EA?
I'll say it. You're all fucking scared. I'll say it. Why
right.
EA?
Why EA?
early access?
We-
Why early access?
We've gone off on a tangent here. Boom, boom.
Like, what's it?
Oh,
Oh, that was good, right? I'm a funny guy.
So
I'm here all
funny.
night.
This
Trust
Dan
stuff
you.
does not look amused.
Like Tangent
Does
missed
not look
it.
amused.
What was that?
Look at it.
He missed it.
No, I heard it.
Yeah.
I heard it.
See, that's what I said. You're not amused.
Why do we want to? Why did you guys do EA? Why couldn't you have just made this like another type of game and
That
released it
does
finished?
concern me. With Landmark being EA and H1Z1 being EA, I am super concerned that they're going to make a request next to EA, and I know that's a completely different conversation, but I'm really worried about that. I don't like the idea of MMOs EA.
I think it probably will be.
I will not be hit. That just leads to so much burnout.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with SWTOR, I stopped playing SWTOR because I played it all the way
Arcade.
through when I was playing beta for it.
Yep.
I didn't even want to play it anymore.
But I guess, yeah. My question to Sony Shock is why? Why?
Because
Just one.
it was
There
a
you
Yeah,
small-
so yours are preference. Yep.
Oh, there he goes. He answered it.
That's what I said.
There you go.
Okay. Is that a good answer for you, Tangent? Do you think does that make you feel better in your loins?
I
do you-
didn't actually hear what the response was. What was it?
The response is they like to mold their products to what the people want. They don't want to come out with a game where it's not zombies, but it's rabid chickens, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is stupid. It should have been better zombies," and it's too late now because they could have fixed it if they had been doing development.
I know every possible reason why EA would be something that someone would do. I'm
But we have
I think
decades
that
of making
answered.
games where EA hasn't been necessary.
right.
So,
I'm just like I know the reasons why developers would pick it. That's not the question that I was asking.
Mhm.
But question I'm asking is just like, if you know the game that you're going for, why not just finish it and then release it?
Well, I guess then
Well,
his
that's
answer is...
yeah, I think that's his answer. Is that because
They
if we
don't know
all
the
have,
game.
if we have 100,000 players playing, you can through the law of large numbers, right? You can statistically figure out what people want from how the way they're playing, and then you can make a game that is probably going to be longer term better.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're trying to say. I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll have Sony Shock on at some point, guys. He said he'll come on the show this week. He's just also busy, and it was nice for him to get Jimmy on for the hour and a half he was on. So
Oh, indeed.
yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I think
so
I think a lot of people in chat are misconstruing our Tangent is not angry, people. He's definitely not
he's
angry.
not.
He's not angry. He's
No,
just
I'm not angry.
he just really wants this to be really good, and he wants things to be right, and he's just passionate about it, as we all are. None of us are hating on anything.
No.
We're all just we're fucking hungry.
Right.
You know, when people get fucking very
hungry.
aggressive when they're hungry, he can taste
Eat a
H1Z1.
Snickers.
It's on his tongue. He can taste the goodness, and he's just hungry for it.
There's a lot
He
of you
just-
guys that are in the audience right now. They're coming in here and asking, "What is H1Z1? You know, how is this different from any other zombie game?" You guys are obviously new, so you're probably going, "Why are these guys so pissed off?" We're not even pissed off. It's just that we've been following this game since it was announced. Like, to every nook and cranny have been looking. Oh my God, he said this on that one video. I wonder if that means this. You know what I mean? And we've been analyzing and double analyzing. It's like like people are doing for the next Star Wars movie. They're like looking at that trailer 1,000 times, going, "Did you see that lightsaber? It looked like it was a little bit crooked. Maybe that means it can do this." You know. And that's the kind of way we've been doing it. We're like totally like geeked out by this game. We really want to play it. So that's don't misread Tangent's thing there.
Would you
His
would
passion
you
is
would you
anger.
would you provide a panel of people that just don't ask questions? Like,
I think we can be excited about the game and still question
Yeah, I mean,
some of
yeah.
its development
Yeah.
cycle.
Mhm.
I think that's perfectly
yeah.
normal.
Yeah, that's what smart people do.
Well,
We're not
We are
Fa-
smart fellers.
fanboyism
No.
might not be like always the best idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's, people who ask the hard questions are the people who care most about it.
Right. Okay. Do we have any more? We have a couple more questions we go over because otherwise we've only got like 2 more minutes. I'm going to do the drawing and then we got to wrap it up.
Yeah. Do we know if there will be any fire-based weapons?
Oh, like
Flamethrowers.
flamethrowers? They did talk that
Yeah.
they would be, or that was the plan. Not at the
I know
beginning.
that the torch also works for burning at least animals. I don't know about people, but oh yeah, it does. It does. Zombies. It works for burning zombies. The torch does.
What about
It's
other
not quite a weapon,
players?
but I don't
I've seen
know. Never got to use it on a person.
we saw the early access or the work in progress flaming arrow.
Oh yeah,
So-
that's true.
You know? I would hazard a guess that eventually, seeing as we've got a spear now, you might be able to maybe wrap a bit of rag on the end and have a flaming
Like a torch. Yeah.
It's on the list. Fire arrows and stuff. Yeah, I figured pretty much everything, right? Like people are asking if all of these features exist, and pretty much we can say yeah, probably at some point.
Incendiary bullets.
Yeah.
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 White phosphorus
Fuck.
rounds.
Fire
Explosive
zombies.
rounds.
Yes, Yemi, there is jumping. Will there be a
What's a
hero? What's
You don't know
Oh,
what
God.
Swizzle is, Tangent?
was the list?
Yeah, what a
What about a
Swizzle is. You know what
I don't
Swizzle
know.
is?
No, what's a swizzle?
It's a LSD they have in the game.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like
It's an energy drink.
Is that so
Energy
that,
drink.
it's the
Energy.
that so-
hardcore.
Is that so people like Stockus can play the game without
Yeah.
Yeah.
getting us shut down?
Yeah.
Somebody give me some swizzle. I want some swizzle.
I need that
Like
Swizzle
it's
thing.
swizzle.
Come on, man. Give it to me, man.
That Swizzle.
There
Your
will be
local Swiss
fires. There will be fires.
Yes.
Is there any other quick questions we can go over? Any
Can
good
you
ones?
mod H1Z1?
No.
No.
This is going to be
there?
on Sony servers.
Yes. Is there hero bandit scaling? No. Everything is KOS except for the PvE server, which is not. Happy birthday.
Yay.
There you go. That was it. I did those really fast. You're welcome.
Awesome. Pretty good. All right, let's do this giveaway then. Drum roll, please.
A Jeep flip, though.
That Jeep. Did you see that Jeep flip?
Yeah.
That Jeep. That Jeep flip.
And
Okay.
he's still going.
What the hell?
Hmm?
My bot just crashed. There's too many people.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hold on. Let's start. I'm sorry, guys. Let me restart it. Restart it.
And let there be spam.
Everybody, type Jimmy.
Do it again.
Do it again, quickly.
Oh,
How
God.
fast can you type Jimmy? Go. This is for we're giving away. I'm giving away H1Z1 in 7 days. So I'm going to take your name and address down, your phone number, and your DNA
Social
sample,
security number.
social security number, and your T-shirt size, and what you had for dinner last night. And then I will send the
Tacos.
game out to you, tacos, and I'll send this
They-
game out to you when it released.
Yes, they were talking about a server with Karma, but it's not confirmed and it's not an EA thing, and it's not fully
you
fleshed
can
out yet.
Roleplay bounty hunting. That's always going to be a thing.
I don't think many of the people on the team want Karma. I think that it's the please don't kill me on sight people that want the Karma.
No, but I think that a lot of people are asking for it, and so they're kind of like, well, maybe, I guess. Maybe we'll put it in. I don't know.
You guys are killing
I mean,
me.
you can have karma without it doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can, yeah.
I mean, it's not like in games like Lineage where it's like, oh, you're killing sight, you can't attack anybody, but other people can attack you for free,
Yeah, jeez.
or something like that. So it's.
I just want my character to have like a little happy face on his shirt.
I haven't killed a person in 6 days.
A button, yeah. Yeah. All right, let's
6
go ahead and
days
ask
with
another
possession.
question real quick. We have to be fast though.
Ah, but I did those so fast for you, Domo.
Damn. You're amazing pants. We're giving this game away. H1Z1.
What are
When Guardian Videos.
are they? No! Oh god, I thought we were done with that.
It never goes away.
Alright.
Never go. Okay, I tell you what then. Instead of doing that, Satellites, go. Tell me where people can find you.
You guys can find me on twitch.tv/SatellitesAreGames, YouTube SatellitesAreGames 55, and Twitter @SatellitesAreGames. I am a variety streamer. I play all sorts of games like FPSs, MMOs, RPGs. Been playing a lot of survival games lately, getting ready for H1Z1, so you can mostly find me playing that right now.
Awesome. Go ahead, Mr. Tangent. Tangent, it does not sound like Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen sounds like Tangent.
I get
It's
that
his,
every day.
younger brother.
Every day.
Every day.
He's a clone of Seth Rogen.
You can find me at twitch.tv/Tangent Gaming or @Team Tangent on Twitter. I am a variety streamer, lately on a survival horror kick. We've been playing through everything from Dino Crisis 1 and 2 to Silent Hill, and we're ramping up for the Resident Evil remake on next gen on the 20th, as well as the Evolve Early Access on the 15th through the 20th as well. That's something that I'm really going to be looking forward to. So, and of course, H1Z1.
Awesome.
I swear I'm not mad, guys. I'm not mad.
He's so angry.
It's
just-
fine.
salty.
No,
I
it is
love
not
your
salty.
anger.
It's passion. It's passion.
Passion.
Come to the dark side. We have
He's
passion.
passionately angry. So that.
We'll make you an honorary Australian. You're just angry enough.
Exactly.
Oh, that's all I ever wanted in life, too. Seriously.
Speaking about passion, go ahead, Sky.
Hey, I'm Skylatron, pretty much everywhere on the internet. I'm the social media marketing coordinator for 10 Ton Hammer. You can find me as Skylatron here on Twitch and also on Twitter, where I am way more amusing. But yeah, I probably will not be streaming again until H1Z1. However, I have been. I can't. I don't have time for this.
Twitter.
Time for what?
I have time for this. I don't have time for streaming every day right now.
Oh,
but
yeah.
but generally a variety streamer with a focus on MMOs.
Very good. Mr. Stargent Stackus.
Hi, how you going? I like long walks along the beach. I like horse riding and touching your beard. Sergeant Stackers, you can see me here on Twitch. Sergeant Stackers, just look for me. I'm here, touching you seductively. Basically streaming every day as much as I can with my data cap, so it's only about 3 hours a day. But once that rolls over, every day, fucking forever. You can follow me on Twitter at Sergeant Stackers again. And remember, I am in your sock drawer, sniffing your dirty snocks and tasting your oatmeal.
Schnocks.
Schnocks are better than socks.
I thought you were going to say tasting our underwear. I really.
No,
I did too. I thought he was going there. I was like, oh, okay.
No.
About
See,
to.
snocks are actually a hybrid of socks and jocks.
Oh.
Oh, it's sort of like what they wore on Red Hot Chili Peppers wore during their concerts.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm Geek Domo, and you guys are here on the channel. Oh, wow. Look at all those people that don't follow the channel.
You are not
Kiss-
going to win,
kiss-
you
You will
guys.
not win. You have to
All
be
the
following.
bots.
Yes. You guys have to be following the channel. It's the bot. If you don't want to stick around, I know you probably won't. You can unfollow me right afterwards. But for the giveaway, you have to be you have to be in. So right now I'm kind of role playing. I am driving a truck around Europe. I had sex with a lot lizard. I generated H1Z1 in my groin, and so now I'm spreading it with my love juices all over Europe, and I'm going to then go to America for American Truck Simulator and go there. But no, just for the rest of this week, I'm playing Euro Truck Simulator. Then I'll be back doing Rust and 7 Days to Die and stuff like that. Getting ready for H1Z1, which is coming up in 7 days, 13 hours, and 59 minutes.
Not that we're counting.
Bots need love to. Okay, guys, this is your last chance. Hurry up and type it in. We are going to close the raffle. It's about time to GTFO. Any passing thoughts before I do want to say thanks to Lock 6 Time, Dave's1Z1, James Z1, Sony Shock, Jimmy, of course, for being here tonight, and everybody else that...
H1Z1HQ, shout out.
H1Z1HQ, who else am I missing? There's a million of you guys. I love your faces.
Million.
I love your faces. You're all fantasticless. And, all right, here we go. We're closing the raffle. Everyone's still typing it in. There's only 222 people in the raffle.
400 people don't want H1Z1.
I guess 400 people are like, fuck it.
Here to laugh at our faces.
I don't want
Well, we're at least 4.
I guess we'll the bot is now going fuck off. I ain't taking this right now.
Oh my gosh. Just close your eyes and go down the list and like...
Yeah, that one.
Thank you.
Dude, I watched somebody doing the other night. He had 87,000 people watching him, and he was doing a giveaway, and he did that. He just like, okay, I'm closing my eyes, I'm going to click, and whatever name I click, because it's underneath it.
What?
Yeah, and he picked somebody that way.
Was that for?
It's a really good...
Game is done quick or something?
I don't know who. It might have been one of those people. I was like, holy crap, he's got a lot of people watching him. And I was like, that's the way to do a raffle. He had like no UI. He had like a camera in the corner and a crappy ass mic. And I'm like, wow, this guy's pretty good.
Works.
Oh, no, you don't need to subscribe, Cammy. No, this is an open public raffle. Okay, here we go, guys. We are closing it now. Good luck. May the odds be in your favor and shit.
I am winner. No.
I don't want
I have to go through the whole list here before it rolls here. Here we go.
What bot are you using?
It's a new bot. It's called Schmeckelbot. And
Potato bot.
It's the potato bot.
Potato bot.
It's,
No offense to your bot, but...
It's a good bot.
Is it? Because
Yeah.
it's not doing... It's not
Oh.
doing...
It's thinking. What it's doing right now is it has to verify that everybody's has been following.
Look at it going.
It's thinking so hard.
Look at it going.
What's going?
Come on, little buddy.
Come on.
little buddy.
You can do it. You can do it, little bot.
Excuse me, but the bot is systematically choosing a winner from a large list of followers.
Yes. Well, I tell you what, we can just cancel the show and I'll give it to somebody afterwards.
Like forever?
No, not forever.
No, it's gone.
What are we?
We're just canceling.
What are we gonna do after the game? If it comes out?
Right,
What are we
talk
going
about
to
the
do?
state of the game.
We're just gonna play it.
I don't know
That's all our
about you, but
stream is. We're just
I
gonna.
don't know about you. I'm going to masturbate furiously in the corner.
Oh
then
my
you're-
God!
You were
playing
planning on
the
doing
game.
that before the game.
Yeah, true. And nothing's changed. In
All
other
right.
words.
Here we go. The winner is Primeval.
That's not how you spell my name.
PRYIM Evil has been watching the show for 1 hour and 53 minutes. Thank
The
you.
whole show.
Thank you. Yeah, he's watched the whole show, so that earns him the right to win.
Oh.
Congo Rats.
Yeah.
He said yes!
All
All right, Prime.
Okay.
Primeval, here's what you got to do. Yeah, it's okay. Primeval, send me a message here on Twitch with your Steam email address, and obviously I can't send you the game tonight. It's not out, but when the game comes out, I'm sending them off to everybody.
What? No game tonight? Scam.
Why don't you just give them the 20 copies that SOE gave to us?
Shut up!
Whoops.
They did not. I hope they will. Because that'll save me
Yeah.
a lot of money, because I don't have... Geico and I are just not working out best. All right, let's get out of here. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tangent and Satellizer and Stockus and Sky and Jimmy and everybody else who came here tonight. Love you guys. We'll be back next week, hopefully, which was after it's released. We might actually be able to play it on the show.
What? Actual live gameplay?
Actual live gameplay for the first time ever.
That'd be so weird.
It will be funny. Okay, we'll see you guys later. I love you very much. Just remember, it's nice to be important, but more important to be nice. There you go.
Evil and salty.
Yeah. Bye-bye.